This- stream will never hear me complimenting how professional your introduction sounded. Straight into a technical mishap. Yeah, that's online, like online event production for sure. But hello, I'm really happy to be here. I love Eternal, and this is going to be some good ass Eternal gameplay, I hope.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Super stoked for Eternal. Probably my favorite format, I would say, as for like creativity and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Played a bunch of online tournaments. Missed the. Unfortunately, I was traveling during the one that kind of got you the buy-in for this season. But I'm. It's like when you're washed. It's like Jai said. It's like when you're too washed up to play, you commentate. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, welcome to the start of the pipeline. You will be joining OP real soon.
I am running the Madrid district this year as well, so I'm already.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm already there.
That's bad news for your gameplay. Mhm. Mhm. I think we have to like first grab the cat out of the bag and look at the big numbers on the stream. 5 nebulas is
Yeah.
a huge amount. I would have never expected that. I think coming into the tournament, I think a lot nebula is not a deck we have like seen perform it like for a long time in Eternal. It has been really popping up recently with this new deck. I think Messi has been building, like most notably, and has been popularizing, which is like going to be really aggressive, really pushing the game state forward. Actually setting up a remote in Nebula, which is kind of scary, and it can really blow some games wide open really fast. And I believe some companies do you know have any idea what kind of decks those could be?
Yeah. I mean, I would be curious to see if they will still be going down the Toron 200 card pile way, or if it will be something a bit more sane, and it's like I don't know,
Mhm.
40, 50, 60 cards, and just trying to get value without playing every tech card known to mankind.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I'm also really curious about the five Nebula, because like surely there will be like I don't know if they will all be playing like the same style, because I there's like of course the meanest thing you can do is some sort of like breaking news boom thing in one turn with
Yeah.
Nebula. But maybe there will be some scoring, maybe we'll need some other stuff. I'm really curious. Cheating clicks. Is something that generally very very
Mhm.
good. The thing that I'm actually most curious about is that the Aza group is like that's like a surprisingly fair ID compared to everything else that I'm looking at.
I think Ace Group, one of the decks that people might bring because it's a deck that we cannot maybe see in standard right now, where it really plays these powerful cards, and
Mhm.
it's kind of a fair quote unquote eternal deck. I think we see a
Yeah.
couple of those also in the mix, like Nebula CI, complete BS. Like those decks are not fair and will not play fair games with you. But like
Mhm.
Ace Group, Matika, Gagarin, I think those are like the kind of a fair try try combination of decks that like feel pretty fair eternal decks that I think are really good points to approach the format in.
Yeah, I will say one thing that I'm surprised about is that maybe everybody did their own testing. Is that whenever I play the Eternal tournaments in paper or online, I end up getting matched against a lot of Nine Siphon Lisa, and we see zero Lisas here.
Yeah, Liza being pointed in the most recent change list, kind of making that deck harder to play. Or not Liza being pointed, but Transfer Wealth actually getting the 1 point. With Liza already pointed, that adds a huge amount of strain into the ID. So kind of
I
interesting not seeing any of those represented. Instead, we see one
Mm.
Geist joining in with
Mhm.
in the most recent list. Tech.
Yeah, but I mean, I expect the Geist, and those kinds of IDs
Mhm.
are just I expect that those are more like labor of love. It's like somebody there's like dedicated people that just like love Geist and will play Geist no matter if it's good or bad. But I'm sure that they have cooked up something nice
Yeah,
for a
I
tournament.
think Eternal is a format for exactly those people where there are a lot of Eternal decks kind of in the margins, which you can workshop into a really powerful decks, like
Mhm.
Geist, Haley Kaplan, Esap is also in there. Like all of
I
these
mean,
things, a lot of these things are extremely powerful, but there has not been the builder who actually puts in the time and effort to actually building them up to the next level. So going to be interesting to see if we see Geist and Haley be like built up to that level here. I think
yeah,
one
100%
notable
agree.
thing for that, Sebastiao, completely unknown deck before, somebody called Warlock, got a deck idea from Koga and kind of built a monster that's really hard to stop. I think Sebastiao deck is going to be, if people haven't seen what the deck does, it's going to be beautiful here.
Yeah, I hope we get to see some off-campus apartment shenanigans. Yeah.
Cannot say too much about it. Mhm.
Yeah, no,
I think it's like a deck that people know, and we have seen it be extremely powerful. And it is a deck that really struggles into some sort of tech. So in this format, where people are kind of seeing who they are playing up against the next 3 weeks, I think we might have been like afraid of some tech coming in and really ruining your whole week of matches in advance if you go too predictably with Open there. I think it's a powerful idea, and I would not be surprised to see it more of it come up next week or after next week, couple of weeks.
I think also like Ob keeps catching strays from points and stuff like that. So I guess like when we say Ob, we mean like the straightforward combo kill Ob
Mhm. Yeah,
with
the mad
mad
combo.
HPT.
Mhm.
And I think now they can only play spins, they can play Jacksons, and in general, I think it's probably good against the other. I guess it's trying to race, but I think like if for example like I wouldn't like to be playing Kill Orb against like the 4 Cabonessa Wu because like if they
Mm.
get like a single run in, they fetch like no one home or something like that, and then like killing them with Mad just became a million times more
Yeah,
complicated.
100%. Also, another idea that I would have expected personally. Personally, I'm
Mhm.
hugely up on Wizard, and
Yeah,
kind of sad not to see my goat in here, but some people haven't seen the light yet on how powerful Wizard is in the format. Just
I mean like
calling,
my
watch your eyes
favorite
for next
eternal
week.
runner is as a just because you can play 6 running hots and just go kind of crazy most turns. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
think
you don't get to play
there's
triple
fan art to
Reseki
be
and
respected.
everything else.
Mm.
Setting up Resekis and Blue Mooses are kind of good, if you didn't know.
Yeah, Wizard, you just living like just dripping 8 credits a turn, pretty good turns out.
Mhm. Yeah, going to be interesting matchup. I think this is going to be probably one of the faster matches we have in the tournament, with Nebula and Esa both trying to just push forward all the time, and it's going to be the match about who is going to be letting off the gas first and who runs out of the tank first. We see, I think, the runner hands during the stream gameplay, so
Mm.
you have to keep your eye on a couple of important cards, and this does look interesting.
Uh,
If people are wondering how this is working, we have recorded the games previously, and we're just watching them back, so we get the uh, benefits of the games not being live and still feeling like they're actually being played. So kind of a double benefit there.
mhm.
Mhm.
100%, because I think also the players can be geographically spread out a lot, so it would be tough to
Yeah.
try and get everyone.
Mm.
No.
Yeah, Corp just going for finding one of the really important cards, Petty Cash, and setting up eyes on HQ. Petty Cash, wonderful card, allows you to get the operation played and to get a free click during a really pivotal turn. And I think we just might need to go and get the ID flipped so we don't get hit by something bad. The issue
Yeah.
just then is that you will face the hard hitting news from the deck, and that might be really switching up the gameplay tempo.
Yeah. And we were just doing as a maths. We decide to trash the gamble, which is interesting. It might mean that, like, I personally would have trashed the brain cage.
Yeah, I think we
Uh,
might be wanting to keep the Carnage
yeah,
up, go up on
yeah,
hand
I
size.
think
If
yeah,
we can go to 7 hand size, I believe the deck might be just playing booms as their kill condition. So could be kind of playing safe for that. Fourthly, getting Titanium Ribs down, really key card in the deck, allowing you to actually select what you're discarding for mid damage and every single piece of damage. So you will get extreme value out of your trashable events, stuff like I've Had Wars and the modern version of that in Steelskin Scarring. Both of those going to be coming in clutch here.
yeah, we've already
And
seen it hit a strike fund to kind of
oh,
smooth out
there it
the
is. The nightmare
uh,
hard hitting moves coming down, 4 tags getting floated. Also, one key mechanic of Eternal showing up. Scarcity of Resources. That's a card which will stick around called Current, and those are not events that will stay around until they're either cleared by the runner playing a current that goes on over top, or the opponent actually stealing or scoring an agenda. But otherwise, every single resource is going to cost 2 credits more. So this bunker going down for 3 credits will drain the entire runner's credit pool into zeros. And we have 4 tags, kind of really limiting what we actually can do here. Setting up brain cage, we need adding up some security in here.
The thing is, like, 6 hand size will not stop you being boomed,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
6 heads is a bit too much. The ghost tongue maybe not paying off right here. And I don't think we have a way to go up to 7 hand size with endurance being the console's choice. Could just be game right here if all 15 gets to draw the mandatory card and play the boom. Of course, Brunner still has options. We have running hot that we can play, go get even more clicks, and just combo into an absurd turn where we just blow everything up. But we are really being threatened right here.
Yeah, we can just hope that they don't have it or they don't draw into it with one click.
Yeah,
I
that
guess
might
2
be our
clicks
option here.
if they have a draw operation with Nebula.
Yes. Nebula might also be playing some cards like Consulting Visitor Pivot, which allow you to just find it from your deck. So added consistency over there.
Yeah, for sure.
And doesn't look
Just
like the runner has it. We are just going to be floating 4 tags and kind of threatened here. Taking archives
yeah.
and nothing there.
Nothing.
And now we will see if this game is actually over on the turn 2. Or
Turn
runner
2.
corpse turn
No,
3.
turn 3.
And there it is!
I just
Boom just
tenacity
coming
boom.
in clutch. That's eternal for you. First round, you have to go. This is what Nebula does to you. It forces you to go and flip the ID over, so R&D you will not be like killed by something really unfair from there. And if you interact, Hearting News directly comes in and punishes you into runners not being able to clear the credits and clear the tags, and then just get intermerged missile straight through the home window. That's so wild.
Yeah, I think that, like, the ghost tongue really came back to haunt Eza this game, because like, if we wanted to do the plan where we stay at 7 hand size, we can't take any core,
Yeah.
which makes it very awkward, but it can be done. But once we played the Ghost Tongue, I was surprised letting the gamble go, because, like, for me, playing the Ghost Tongue meant that we kind of want to keep our money up, and we kind of, at least, like, if we played the gamble, we would have had the cash to clear tags, I think.
Yeah, I think the issue after that point then becomes that you have the cash to clear the tax once, but you don't have the cash to actually continue pressuring it. So it might be that the runner just selecting to go with the line, okay, I'm cooked if they have it, because I have to mulligan into a maybe suboptimal hand where I don't have the liquid cash available. So I have to just send it and make them have it, which is like a solid strategy. Sometimes just doesn't pay off and you get cooked.
Yeah, true. I would say it's also maybe we only see the runner perspective, so we can't see what was going on with the corp. But maybe the hand with 2 raindrops into Nebula, maybe with a greedy mulligan coming back to haunt the runner a little bit.
Yeah, could be. I think there's a deck kinda is sometimes tough with the draws here.
Yeah, 100%. You're really reliant on just kind of chaining those steel skins and I had horses together with the damage effects.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Just a 5 minutes game. I think we probably have ample time to watch the next one.
All right,
Okay.
Gagarin.
And Gagarin, one of the ideas that maybe has been pointed out a bit, I think the typical strategies we'll see something like Moomba City Hall coming down and just spamming the assets absolutely. Oh, decklist leak! Everybody
Decklist leak.
click the window, open up everything, take notes. Okay, so I think we will know what deck this is. We will be playing some sort of a combo here.
Yeah, I think I don't want to roll it back, but I think I saw an APOC.
Yeah, could be. I think if people haven't seen this deck yet, this is a treat if we get to roll it up. Of course, depends on, okay, Corporation instantly going Ice R&D. I think that's one of the key things you have to do to stop the combo landing super early. And
all right, I had never actually seen the runner POV of this deck. Usually I'm on the other side, so I'm curious.
Okay, Hyperdriver's showing up. Really important piece of the combo. Just cannot be played by itself. I think you have to have some extra MU security to get that down. Yeah, Leprechaun being installed. Leprechaun making sure you can install. Yeah, the deck really doesn't care about the credit total until you actually do the combo.
That's true. And you can always Carbonessa for a call, for a gamble from your deck, almost.
I mean, not anymore after you go down to 1 credit.
Oh, yeah.
I think
okay, so we use the rigging up to keep the window open for at least getting a call from the deck with Carbonessa's ability. Because going to 0 would have been really bad.
Sure. Yeah, 100%.
And Gagarin doing the Gagarin things.
Rashida's throwing 3
absolutely crazy asset for the people who haven't seen it before.
Yeah, all of these political assets, as they're called, these are just, if you leave them unprotected, they have absolutely bonkers abilities, and you just have to protect them with different ways. Stuff like hard-hitting new, stuff like Gagarin's ability, which adds 1 to extra trash costs, just adding up huge. And we're setting up even more. Coalescence, that's the card you don't want to see.
Oh, we get punished by not clicking Carbonessa. All right. It's setting the offer to trash cards. Very important. Because you don't want your calls to get RFG'd.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So this for the moment looks like a normal-ish Gagarin deck. I guess. What would you expect for influence out of this deck? Usually, I in my mind, it's this kind of like Wayland block of thing. It was like at some point you get tagged somehow and you get like scorched or HPT'd or something like that.
Yeah, I would assume stuff like hard-hitting news to keep the runners in check. Or yeah, and could it go different ways? Stuff like Gs and wage workers to add even more valid tempo into the list.
Whoa!
We see illegal arms factory being crashed. That's an asset that we don't typically see. It's 3 to I think 3 to rest will get you a card draw and a credit, and it's 6 to trash, but you will get a bad publicity, I think. No,
Yeah.
wait. Do
And
you?
the runner right now not fit to trash anything, it would seem.
Yeah, this is the worst part about trying to stream a tournament where you don't remember all the cards do.
Uh-oh. Oof.
Illegal Arms Factory, illicit, takes a bad publicity, for some reason not shown on stream. I don't know why. Anyway, I don't think it matters here, to be fair.
Yeah, it's very expensive to trash, but you get a bad publicity back if you do. But
Mhm.
I guess Gagarin right now really happy that he's not playing against Wizard or some other ID that has
yeah,
the
Illegal
cash to
Arms
afford
Factory,
all of that.
getting the bad publicity after you trash it, not after you res it. My bad.
Oh yeah. That would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
really bad. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I was confused where the bad publicity was. Every time you don't know some of the cards and you're like, what's happening? Corporation on 22 credits, but we just kind of would need to start finding the win condition out here. And I
Yeah.
don't think Gagarin is the deck which you'll really want to or can have the win condition being found.
Yeah, I guess the thing is like with this much money, I think this combo deck, if we start getting to a situation where we have a triple ice R&D with border controls and stuff, it might actually start getting tricky getting in.
Yeah, those I think we also might be. There are tech pieces into the combo. If we stress a Kesselrod, might be showing up huge. Like anything that you can keep on R&D for combo turns is going to be huge.
After Apocalypse.
Yeah, Apocalypse sadly not trashing everything. Some cards can stay on the table, but those cards have to be really specific ones.
There's a few other cards that don't get trashed, right? There's Architect, like OG
Architect and Kesselrod, I think, are the 2 cards that don't trash during the thing.
Oh, so we're actually checking the remotes, thinking that the Corp might be sneaking out at some points. Oh,
Yeah, that's fair.
Senses.
Sense actors in I don't think you actually can trash that. It's a lot of value for the corp, but if you get hit by Harshing News, that's going to be really dangerous for you.
Yeah, like surely we're getting tag punished this turn, right? If we're the runner.
Yeah, if the corp has found it, I think Gagarin typically deck that we plays more than 50 cards in there, but I might not be.
Yeah,
Getting a second
but like
in there?
the corp also has fired 2 Rashidas, and now with the Senses, like they've seen like 15, they will see 3-4 more. They will see like a third of the deck at least. So I think if we're the runner, the equivocation. Oh wait, is equivocation the tag dodging or is it part of the combo? I don't remember.
Equivocation?
Yeah.
Equivocation is part of the combo, I think.
I'm messing up with
misdirection.
Yeah.
Too many old cards. But we see 3 hyperdrivers being set up on the table. Not playing this for tempo. This we might be seeing them next turn come into effect.
Yes, I think this turn has a good chance to be the final turn, one way or the other. Or
yeah, so
closing the door, anyways.
Corp trying to set up here, trying to do something. I think the check on the asset last turn might have been just like, oh, I have this 1 extra click that I can just do anything with, and you really cannot stop me.
Yeah, it's also it's like also like the mind game was like, I'm gonna keep you honest, I'm gonna check the board every now and then. You can just start sneaking naked points. Though Gagarin, of course, makes it a pain even to just check naked remotes.
Yeah, Gagarin, one of the better asset ideas in that. And this turn, we are thinking about in the installs here, installing 1 card onto the table already. Mamba Temple.
Okay.
Really powerful asset that just has
we didn't press the Sensei. Oh no, yeah, the Sensei was trashed, of course.
Yeah, Sensei was trashed. Mamba City Hall coming down. Consulting visit
into hard hitting.
Yeah, there it is. Harvesting News. Mamba Temple, absolute powerhouse of a card. Allows you to fetch any alliance card, which a huge chunk of them are kind of broken. So,
All
okay,
right,
here
well
we
now
go.
now it's
Hyperdriver getting
the runner's
popped.
turn to do combo
Uh-huh.
shenanigans.
13 clicks happening.
Yeah, and we're gonna click for a lot of cards.
Ritual, sometimes called worse diesel, but when it draws 13 cards, kind of a broke bit more
Oh, and we
busted.
whiff.
Yeah, really important. Find
Oh,
more
okay,
rituals.
okay.
There is the second one at least. So we get to draw last of the deck.
Okay.
We have one more card left in R&D. I don't think that's an important one though.
We used the rigging up, so we have to manually install Faust. I don't know if
Yes,
that's a big deal
it
or not.
loses 3 credits, but you have
Yeah.
4 from the steel skin strike funds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so installing Faust, and I think we might see 3 runs going down.
Yes. We are just trying to.
And you have couple of extra fuel cards that you have for the Faust here.
Yes, surely.
Sending it with the illumination.
So we get all of our simul chips, and after the apocalypse, we will just be conduit digging. Oh, that's a lot of cards.
Oh, yeah, that's 5 cards, I believe, having to being
Yeah.
trashed
And
into
if
the
the other
Faust.
one is border control, then it's 10 cards.
Yeah, that actually starts to add up.
But we have
I
a
think,
lot of like Into the Ashes, Out
yeah,
of the
into the
Ashes.
Ashes strike funds, kind of a free trashes that you don't need for the actual combo. Really nice to click on Janet, it seems. Yeah, having to find the exact combo cards you need and have to take out. There goes the second strike fund. That's
Yep.
4 credits. So we have enough for the Apoc now. Out of the Ashes, also a card you probably want in the bin.
Mhm.
And if the second card is
Definitely.
actually a target, I think we might be needing to throw out some of the combo cards here.
Well,
To
like
Faust.
deep dives, usually you don't really need the deep dives. Oh, okay, it's not a border control, or okay,
Oh,
that
thank God.
okay.
That helps a lot in this situation. So 3
Yes.
cards more. It really depends on what's the combo way here. I think we are playing the. Is that a medium on the corp hand?
Yeah, we will be
Yeah,
doing the medium misdirection, just
medium
digging.
equivocation, right?
Yeah, equivocation. They're so similar.
It's tough sometimes.
All right,
Breach?
now all of the simul chips are coming down for free.
Yeah, simul chips and
And something
do we
else?
see something else? Yeah, I think we played one simul chip already, so we might be just installing couple less
Oh.
cards, choosing to install a Muse.
I guess it's +1 credit with
Yep.
call. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Wait, what?
SMC?
Surely that's a misclick.
I would assume so, yeah. I guess you can just kind of install those. Commercial Bankers Group not being trashed right now. I think saving it up for a bit in the future.
Oh, I'm curious why we didn't get call with the Muse.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And we're getting call now.
Yeah, there's the extra credits that we just get off the illumination.
Yeah, I think we just wait. We're gamble? No, I don't think we need more money, surely.
You have 4 more credits on the simul chip.
That's 5
And
more
yeah,
cards.
you need the credits here or the cards in hand.
Yeah, you need cards more than credits, yeah.
Yeah, right now you have to keep every single key combo card. Luckily, I think we're just able to keep all of the important ones. CBI
The
raid
thing is, like,
starting to go.
we can trash the conduit because we want to install it with simul chip anyways.
I don't think you can. Oh, SSL being found means you have to dig less on the combo turn.
Yeah, that's
Archives
big.
run. There goes that. And then we have 6 clicks after we have already run every single central server. Simul chip.
Oh, yeah, right, of course. I forgot how Apocalypse.
Trashing everything to save them from. Simul chip saving everything from the Apoc.
Oh, yeah.
And there it goes. Everything blown up. The Corp has nothing left. Runner has 5 clicks this turn. Plays triple Encore. So we have 3 more runner turns coming up. And lastly, we play Illumination to show install everything in hand.
And medium, yeah.
Yeah, this will install medium, conduit, and equivocation into the table. And then we start digging for our life on R&D. We have so many free turns coming up. 3 free turns to dig with so many tools that find just more cards. Okay, only thing that can win the Corte game is the one random include tech snare.
Oh, and that's why we don't install the conduit?
Yeah, could be. Click
'Cause
one
we
draw.
passed on conduit.
Yeah, just really staying safe. We have Out of the Ashes also just to dig even more. You have
Yeah.
5 out of the Ashes in the deck just to get 5 more extra runs. And I think even this is going to be enough card to just clear everything. Sensei Actors Union.
Yes, like we're gonna see
Equivocation,
so
adding
many
the card on top of into the hand, so that digs mediums even deeper. Sensei Actors Union getting added back in. SSL Steel, and just 3 more runs coming down.
This is still click at 0. This is still the start of the turn. Yeah.
Click 0 of the 3 free turns we have left.
Yeah. And this
It is from there. This just doesn't even need to dig that far, and this just is so bonkers. It's so tough to stop. I think there are a couple of decks that are built into fighting this, but it's just really like there's nothing much you can do sometimes.
I guess if you're in Jinteki, you can play Swordsman.
You can play Swordsman. You can play Mati, which like on the combo turn can install Eyes from hand on R&D, so you make the digs really much harder. And you force the opponent into playing the Deep Dive Out, which has less like chances of success.
Yeah, can whiff at least. This is almost deterministic.
Yeah, this is like you basically see every single card in the deck. This shit is so broken. Do something about this.
No,
there's nothing much Gagarin can do.
Yeah, I think both this and the runner game kind of showed that Eternal is a format that rewards and punishes you for like knowing what to play around and what to not play around and stuff like that. So I think maybe Gagarin, like the last turn that we went for HHN, once they have the 3 hyper drivers down, maybe we just say it's like, okay, can I use the city hall to get something like tagging you is not gonna stop you? Can I use the city hall or can I use some other of my tools to just make your life harder to try and stop the combo?
There might have been options where you actually install even more cards to the table, so you make the tour guides even more taxing. And we had 4 cards left in the hand at the end because of 15-15 kind of had to draw suboptimally because of the draws we got during the game.
Yeah.
And that's like interesting to see how it would have ended up.
Yeah, like if the Fortum was a border control, I think that the Gagarin was alive because the tour guards were too expensive to break.
Yeah, I think so. So it's like maybe the Corp thought that they had one more turn, but yeah,
with the
deck can jump out of nowhere. If you haven't seen it, if you're not experienced, it's really tough to defeat. You'd like have to play into your outs extremely well.
100%. All right, so those were 2 really, really explosive games.
Wonderful. Well played from both players. Also, for the sake of the stream and my co-casters, I'll introduce myself again. Hi, I'm Warlock, and turns out my mic has been muted this whole stream. So this might be the first time you hear me since I started talking about 40 minutes ago.
Oh, your introduction was so good.
Yeah, I know. I'm so upset about it.
That's tough.
Coming up next
is kind of hard.
Yeah, coming up next, 2 players that live very close to each other. They might actually like share the same apartment and stuff. We have Dungeon Mixer playing against the Knight from Chess. 2 players I know tested it with each other and like are very aware of what decks each other are playing. Actually, no, never mind. I'm going up ahead. I think the next match we have is 2 veterans, 2 players from last season. We have Augustus Caesar playing against Jai, I think.
Yeah, 2 veterans and also like 2 of the best Netrunner players, full stop. So this.
I think Jai will get angry if you call him the people's champion, but we never will slander our goat.
I am so glad it's like nighttime for Jai, so he might not hear it until next morning.
Yes, he cannot stop us by chatting.
Jai notably coming, I think, second place last ESL, just
Mhm.
kind of during the last couple of weeks messing up his corp deck, notably losing to Apex, which is a mark of shame we will never let him forget. And like a couple of other really tough losses during the last round of the tournament made it that he lost to Toron during the tournament. Of course, Toron unleashed the World Rewu during the tournament to the full power that we saw. But Jai has, I think, switched up here. If we can go into the games,
Mhm.
I would like to talk about if we see Jai's corp game first. No, we have to come into that later. But before that,
you can switch it up if you think that's more entertaining. They're both perfectly
I don't
fine.
know if it's more entertaining. It just had a point that I had in mind.
Then let's get to it later.
Okay.
Let's watch. Oh, never mind.
Okay.
you guys are you.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
okay.
Go ahead.
So Jai last week or last ESL notably played 3 whole decklist sets of Scorpius, and this time switching out, even though people have considered Scorpius kind of a broken ID and the best deck in the format, like it literally has 0 bad matchups. People have been saying it, and it's still Jai is just switching into Nebula kind of out of nowhere. A really interesting choice, and we will see how it pans out. Augustus pivoting into Geist, I think one of the explorators of the format. Maybe I has brewed Geist before, and it's going to be fun and interesting to see how Geist fares with stuff like Stoneship and No Free Lunch.
Mm-hmm. I'm really curious as well because the Jai Scorpius deck was surprisingly like tough for a lot of fair runners, and because like you couldn't afford to get rig shoot, and it had like this kind of very spiky eyes in combination with Scorpius and a lot of things that stopped a lot of the shenanigans that runners usually are up to. But yeah,
100%.
I'm curious to see. I think I think we will see a lot of different nebulas over. I think maybe even over the course of just this week, but definitely over the course of ESL, because I think it's like a strictly powerful effect to have. Is like,
Yeah, 100%.
and I'm also really curious for Geist, of course, because it's always fun seeing pop off draw a million card turns.
100%.
All right.
Okay, Warlock, you want us to press the play start button or do you press it?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll
Okay.
let you handle the speed of the games.
So then we're jumping straight in. Geist, really powerful idea that we have since rotated from the standard metagame, where every time you use a trash can ability, you get to draw an extra card. So it makes you re-evaluate a lot of the card pool. Stuff like No Free Lunch becomes actually draw 3 and get a card as well. So
Gain 3, draw a card,
yeah, starts really switching up. Also, we have a really important card in the deck called Tech Trader, which I think we will see at some point, which
turn
gives
1
one more credit
scarcity.
from every single card. Jai fighting back with turn 1 scarcity kind of shuts down the entire Geist idea. Scarcity makes every single resource cost 2. Not the first time, every single one. So even cannot protect it by installing 4 cards a turn. Everything costs 2 more, and Geist's ability is completely blanked, basically. And
like
all
like
just
this
draw
hand
up
is
more.
just bricked.
Yeah, paying 2 credits to install a crowdfunding, that plus 2, paying 2 credits to install No Free Lunch, that's card and a credit, makes every single card basically unplayable. And Jai just cannot be able to draw up into stuff. And Jai dropping the yikes dog. Totally fair. That turn 1 Scarty is ruining lives here.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't know if what criminal like countercurrent, I guess it's like corporate grant most of the time, if we expect one at all.
Yeah, I think that or employee strike. We have to wait a bit to actually see it.
I was thinking of criminal cards, but yeah, employee strike probably
100%.
better.
It depends. Drawing up, finding diversion of funds, a really key card in the deck. Sadly, maybe not lining up perfectly. Being sent in the boomerang install. goes through a lot of the eyes, and
Mhm.
diversion funds are basically transfer of wealth that is a double, steals 5 credits, gets 5 credits, and
Oh.
IP block doesn't matter. Do we have more stuff to
Oh,
rest?
it's going to
No, no
0.
races going down to 0. Stolen everything. Taking the ashes from the mantelpiece and then running the remote. Do we catch the agenda install? No spin doctor getting rest. And we're
So
totally
what
safe now.
do you expect? Do you expect 2 spin? Oh, naked
Oh, Rashid missing the server, calling it incorrectly, and we might be in huge
Ooh.
danger. Huge danger alarms going off. YDL?
Yeah, YDL here is.
There it
Oh,
is. YDL going to 10 credits. Huge bounce back. Imagine if Augustus caught the remote correctly, but just
yeah.
missing. R&D getting iced? And do we see hard-hitting news come down here?
Yeah, or some sort of punishment. Like, even without hard hitting or anything, like, this scarcity is just making Augustus's hand so bad. Like,
Yes.
everything is so
You-
unprofitable.
Yeah, you really cannot understate how powerful scarcity is in this situation. Though we might see
Boomerang
the second
into
version
Siphon.
of diversion funds going in, account siphon, even more older version of transfer of wealth, where it basically doubles the effect but doesn't get the access. Are we sending it, or does Augustus
Oh.
think about it? Undo click?
Maybe wait. What? I don't remember. The IP block is a code gate.
Barrier by itself.
Oh, maybe. So we were thinking maybe Kurapira into Siphon, maybe.
Yeah, could be. Really interesting to see. Maybe double checking the remote first that you don't get punished
so
really badly.
That's 2 spins. Okay, 2 spins are out, so that's good. But that
Yeah,
means that
probably
we didn't
a bit more
siphon this turn, which is painful.
You still have time, at least. Looking at the street peddler, like, can I afford 3 for this?
3 for a street peddler, so tough.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see.
Just
Deciding
click for
you
credit.
can't do it. Discarding crowdfunding, that will come back if we make 3 runs in a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a key card in that way. But yeah, Augustus, I think, just drawing up for the counter current here. I don't think you have
Yeah.
anything else you're kind of doing except maybe transferring.
Yeah, I wonder, if you can, like, next turn can be Kurapira, Siphon, and run HQ 2 more times to get the... Okay, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. There it is. Also upgrade going in HQ. Hugely frustrating card, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, we probably are playing a couple of copies of Chrysium Grid, which makes the runs completely unsuccessful, or they are not considered successful when you actually finish the runs. So account siphon will not do anything, and you will not even flip Nebula if you run HQ.
Oh, that's true. You can't even flip Nebula. Wow, yeah. Augustus is just digging for the counter current. At least he found all the crowdfundings, but wait, is the crowdfunding free install 2 credits off of scarcity?
No, I think it's don't pay anything. Jai getting a Astro script in the score area. Card that got buffed in Eternal by removing an errata that was given to it during FFG's times. So you can play 3 copies of a card. That's a 3-2 agenda. Basically a really good stat line by itself. Mm-hmm. That has the effect of Remastered Edition by itself on a 3-2. That's wild. That's basically broken. Like, agenda that shines into itself.
Oh, boom discarded.
Oh, yeah, boom discarded a boom. What do you think that tells you?
I think that tells me. Okay, yeah. Thankfully, the crowdfundings are free. Yes, because it says ignoring.
Imagine if you had to pay for those.
Yeah. I think that tells me that Jai has a lot of agendas in hand, and he just thinks he can wheel them out off of the Astro Train, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally could be.
If we could easily see another Astro here.
No, we should click for draw, Yara.
Click for draw.
Is Jai completely stuffed with agendas?
Equal warfare.
Yeah, Icon Forward going down to 2 credits, and we might see the hard thing just come down. There it is. Have fun clearing 4 tags in your turn when you got hit down with market forces down to 2 credits. Going up to 5 doesn't matter though. Not enough. Yeah, getting
Okay.
down to 1. You're not dead to boom anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the important part.
Yeah, boom. Notably demanding that you have 2 tags. Kinda.
Yeah, and here again we see like the sharpness of Eternal. Like if we played the Street Peddler instead of clicking for credit like last turn, we would have been dead now. It's like
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And
so yeah, like every credit, every little choice definitely mattering in these kinds of games.
yeah, still we are just drawing up. What are we digging for agendas? Self-growth
Oh,
program. 2
oh. That's just mean.
That's so mean. Adding 2 crowdfunding back into the hand.
Not even the Corupira, 2 crowdfundings back to
Yeah,
hand.
Augustus will not be allowed to get a single credit on his turns, basically. You have 1 dripping from a crowdfunding, and you getting this back on the table with the scarcity on there is so annoying.
Yeah. Do you just click for credits? What do you do? Okay, you can run archives 3 times, and you discard to hand size first, and you get them back, right?
Yeah, but then you're wasting your entire turn on this.
I mean, yeah, that's yeah, and like Nebula's just staying flipped all of this time is.
Yeah, sadly, Nebula has not been really capitalizing on being flipped.
Oh,
I think
because of
Petty Cash.
Devil? Yeah. Another Astro?
Yeah, could be. 3 advance.
Breaking news, boom. Uh-oh.
Oh, breaking news!
Oh,
there it is.
shit.
Breaking news, boom! You had 4 clicks with 1 gotten from the Petty Cash. Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's also a wrong game. So
Yeah. Let's stop here. Yeah, it's like just...
1 more credit or 1 more click from the Petty Cash. Basically, it's not a big deal. You can survive like 4 clicks on a corp turn. Install advance. Use the Astro we already had in the score area.
Yeah.
So score out breaking news.
With 2 clicks left.
Yeah, 2 clicks. Notably 2 clicks left. Breaking news. Giving the corporation or runner 2 tags that will clear up at the end of the turn. Sadly, it doesn't matter when you get boomed instantly out of there. So just drawing up, setting up for the combo out of hand, just murking the runner, and there's not much you can do about it. We saw Augustus interact like once and be blown up.
Yeah, like this game was just brutally defined by that turn 1 scarcity.
Yeah.
Into a deck that really needs to like cycle these very cheap resources. It's like when all of your, like, 0 cost +3 credits cards become clicking for credits, they like the math just breaks down very, very fast.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about scarcity on turn 1 as Geist. Basically, your only out starts to look like if you can draw into your counter current. Otherwise, scarcity is just a huge mess.
And Augustus was clicking for cards a lot and still whiffed, unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly, we didn't see it pan out.
And yeah, I wonder if that was actually a Crisium grid, because we were respecting the Crisium on HQ because we had the Boomerang Siphon for a while. But yeah, you like if that is the Crisium, then it's like the maximum punish, and you're never getting out of that hole probably.
Yeah, really tough spot for Augustus. I think this is like a match. Sometimes Eternal throws these matches where it's really tough to fight through a really early current that you cannot get rid of, but kind of format being defined by those sometimes.
And that's also like a deck building concession that you make sometimes. Is like, am I playing countercurrents? How many countercurrents am I playing and stuff like that?
Yeah. Also designing your deck in a way where you don't lose to these currents is sometimes possible. Where like you start thinking, can I play this resource that maybe is not super important for my game plan? Because if the scarcity comes down, this is going to be a dead card. Also, runner side filled with extremely powerful currents, so it's kind of like both sides will be suffering from the same things.
With the rumor mill and employee strike on the runner side is definitely.
I think we can jump into the other game of this half, and we will see another Nebula game.
Ooh, but this time Jai is on the combo, Seb.
Combo in a way, of course. Will mean we have a bunch of cards going to be installed. It is strolling, yes. and
Yeah,
looks
we
like
already see the off-campus apartments here in the hand.
a hugely important card. We see
Oh, this is a key?
off-campus.
Okay.
Yeah, we have off-campus in the hand. We have Tech Trader already, one of the copies,
Mhm.
and DJ Fenris. That's huge amounts of tempo that will
Well,
be
that's true.
gained.
DJ Fenris is like his key part of the
Mhm.
combo.
Also, Rumor Mill is extremely good. Maybe not against this deck specifically, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
And Augustus dropping out Petty Cash and Subliminal Messaging. Subliminal Messaging, basically a broken Nebula card. Like getting your extra copies of Petty Cash is extremely. I cannot describe it with any other word than broken. And this is what like the format is doing. Off-campus apartment popping off. You install Tech Trader
Oh.
wheels, Fall Guy on the same turn. Everything draws you more cards because off-campus apartment just gives you them. Subliminal being added back to hand every turn. We have Petty Cash also. We are flipped, so both of these will give you at least one more extra click here.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Okay, 4 clicks,
Subliminal.
but we're just drawing. And icing up.
Icing up RNG.
I guess if we are Seb, we're just looking looking for a good way to get tags. Is like, what do you prioritize? Do you prioritize? Ooh, well, okay, that's a good way to get tags. Because I was like, do you prioritize getting the God of War down or the DJ Geist? So, but now we can do both, maybe.
Yes. I think the turn is interesting because this Sebastian deck actually never wants to end your turn tagged because off-campus apartment blowing up spells disaster for you. There goes DJ Fenris. You get to pick something, and it looks like we're going to Geist. We saw Geist in the last game. DJ Fenris being able to fetch any desired Gmod subtype character and ID as just an extra installable. So Armand is chilling out in the bar and helping us out.
And we see the Street Peddler hosting a Cipher, which is a really powerful console that just allows to set the strength of a piece of ice once per turn to 0, which of course means that it can get deleted by crew.
Deleted by crew.
Yeah.
Get deleted. Run through with Almakua. Like, there's so many different tools being basically extremely good with that one.
All right, and Nebula right now kind of dirtling, kind of not doing too much with our extra clicks, clicking for a lot of cards.
Looks interesting. This doesn't look like a version we have maybe seen previously, where we actually have remotes, stuff like Rashida going in there, but Augustus camping up, and Joy just being able to set up in the piece here. Really importantly, finding the second Tech Trader means that we will at some point start generating absolutely monstrous value of our cards here.
Yeah. I wonder if you pop the Street Peddler just to cycle a bunch of cards. Oh, Hannah, just for extra clicks and...
Oh, what? The third Tech Trader being found out this early. This might spell disaster for Augustus. This is going to be generating so much credits. Tech Trader coming down.
Now we can you're looking at the same old thing, make 2 credits. Oh, we're even clicking for the credits.
Yeah, getting...
we installed the other wheels, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, needing the couple extra credits to actually get it installed. Now we have credits to take the Tech Trader online.
Yeah.
And you can continue rolling this turn more and more with wheels and Geist. Everything just generates more forward tempo for you.
Yeah, now with the third Tech Trader, I guess you can pop Fall Guy for money and do the friendo to install the other friendo and like tag and untag yourself.
Kind of a dangerous situation.
It's sad that we lost the Cipher. But we found the Dean Lister. I was like, because Cipher was a really good way to interact with the corp. But
yeah, like
I guess
kind of like Joy is setting everything up here, but we don't have a way to actually get into anywhere yet. And like Augustus is on a clock here. You are like being run out of time a bit by the Septex setting up. So like going to be interesting to see what. Yeah, exactly. Getting the trebuchets out, getting your catapults and battering rams.
Yeah, it's like
And this-
you can't be like behind your 2 IP blocks and feeling good about your life.
Yeah, Tech Trader will be blowing up a huge wall in those at some point. We're
Okay, and I
Kinda
feel
getting,
like
like, mixed up here.
we're setting up very conservatively, I feel like.
I think there is a world where you get these friends of our friends down, get those rolling, getting those into each other. But
Exactly. Like, we
don't
still
look like
haven't taken a
Jai's
tab. We haven't
doing it.
triggered subtext yet.
Yeah, kind of an interesting thing. Also, there we go. We see
Okay,
a
the
Astro
first
script getting
Astro.
scored, and now
Yeah.
we're in a really similar situation as last turn. And
Last game, yeah.
Sebastian might have some couple tools to actually survive this situation better than the last deck we saw, but really comes down to if Jai can find those. Oh, decklist leak!
Oh.
The keen-eyed in the spectator sitting might have seen some really important cards there, but Jai just looking at what my tools to actually survive this. Click for a credit.
Looking for credits.
Click for a credit.
Okay.
Friend of a friend coming down. We might see first tag of the match being gained. And
Surely,
thinking
like,
about
we
it,
have the wheels to
about it,
clear and everything, right?
I would assume so. Yeah.
So many triggers.
you get a draw and solid 12 credits out of a friend of a friend.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
that's the card that is like the win condition of the game.
Oh, yeah.
It's not more access. It's just that we are going to vamp the corporation down as many times as it will take. If corporation has 0 credits, nobody can do anything. And
Okay, but we're just letting them have it. Like, we could die right now.
You could totally. Subliminal messaging, is that being played?
No, that's just getting
being added back to hand. We have the petty cash in hand. Subliminal messaging. Install. Oh no! Oh, triple advanced Beal.
Oh.
Jai probably shaking in his boots right there.
Yeah.
And
that could have been it, yeah.
Yeah, totally. I think this might be a different list with Beals. I think we might be focusing on fast advancing more because there are a couple really important cards that just some decks you literally cannot kill with damage, basically. And I think Augustus kind of is suspecting that those were more prevalent and pivoting into this more scoring version. Arcera's crew being found out, hugely important card in the match.
Yeah.
We have
but without the Cipher is a lot less scary. Though we can always like Praxis, a Street Peddler, see the top 3 cards, find another Cipher.
Yeah.
Though like right now, Amakua, like Dean Lister just gets us in because Dean Lister, I don't remember the text on Dean Lister, but I just know that it sets Amakua's strength to like infinite.
Yeah, Dean Lister. Trash can ability hugely important. Until the end of the run, Icebreaker, notably AIs also, gets plus strength based on the amount of cards you have in hand. So we will have a 4 strength of Amakua coming up. There it is.
That becomes 5 strength off of.
5 strength Amakua. Turnpike being broken for 1, and Corp going to go down to 0 credits. And people are annoying.
Triggering Seb.
That's annoying. But not super important for Jai. I think Jai is really happy just like taking the 2 tags and clearing everything. This kind of even helping him, giving you free installs of Sebastian. Fully broken here. And Vamp sending Corp down on 0 credits. Have fun clicking out of this.
Yeah, I mean there are cards like subliminals and planograms maybe, but it's like we're not gonna end the turn tagged thanks to wheels.
Wheel. Ew, that's so many clicks gotten back.
And you could even clear tags and Praxis and do it again.
Yeah, this Septic is kind of sicko mode. It does have notable weaknesses. If you don't have the Fall Guy, a single copy of Best Defense can just blow everything up. Doesn't look like we have it though. Praxis being sent in. It's threat 4, doesn't actually matter, I believe. But privilege access Can I get a God of War? Just not wanting that even into hand.
Are we getting wheels back? Yes.
Yeah, wheels. That's even more. That's so much
Even
value.
more clicks. And Friendo or Street Peddler? I don't know if
Yeah.
we need more cash. I guess we're getting.
You
we're
need
for
more cash because you will be vamping a couple of more times in the game, I would assume.
Yeah, for sure.
And
So now we
wheels
can-
clearing the second tag. So we have cleared 2 tags this turn for free
Wow.
and just gotten 4 clicks out of it. You can do privileged access again and just get even
So
more
you can
clicks.
just keep going. Yes.
That's so messed up.
I guess. Oh.
And okay.
Are we keeping going or you can take a tag, install the other Friendo.
Yeah, also getting huge amounts of value from there.
Yes, we're on 20 credits. We were on 5 credits 2 seconds
Yeah, there's
ago.
the second vamp. We have that lined up now.
Yeah,
And
hostage. I guess it's usually to find your DJ and things like that. We can probably
hostage is
safely
really
discard
important
them
into
at the
finding
moment.
tech trader.
Oh
Tech
yeah, and
traders and
detect
DJ
killers, of
guys,
course.
everything in your deck is basically findable by hostage, and you really need some of these engine pieces to actually be able to do anything.
Oh,
We see Levy in the hand, so we will be
keeping the
doing this
rumor mill.
we will go through the pile again and again.
I guess we're keeping the rumor mill to stop like spin doctors and stuff like that eventually.
Doing that also clear if keeping rumor mill in hand, just if Augustus plays scarcity, we can clear it with our own rumor mill
True. I
instantly
guess
after.
this is like another engine that really gets messed up by scarcity.
100%. Cipher being installed, and do we see a vamp just clearing 3 credits here? It's kind of a situation what you don't want really to do, but
Okay,
you
now
can
the
have
Praxis
sometimes.
is more value because we didn't even have a Seb install before.
Mhm.
We're just
R&D?
going to turn off Nebula on R&D. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Gold farm. Accessing all these cards and just seeing all the like gold contenders of ice in NBN.
Yeah, like all of the cards was like, yeah, like this is banned for a reason. Yeah. I think NBN probably has the biggest collection of like messed up ice out of all of the factions.
It's pretty good competition with NBN and Jinteki, I believe.
Yeah. It's like you get Gold Farmer, you get Engram Flush, you get Slot Machine.
All the best of the best. And
yeah.
If you notice, Jai really not like trying to win right now, I believe, just basically holding on and making sure Augustus is not winning, because the runner will at some point win the game if nobody is actually winning.
Yeah. And I think like at some point with Cipher, this many crews, Levy, I don't want to say like systematically, but Jai can just delete like so much of the ice that Augustus is playing.
Yeah, 100%. And I think our fundamental game plan probably going to be clearing up HQ. Clearing up HQ. And then sending as many vamps in as we can, I believe, is the outcome.
Like I would expect like IP block to explode this turn, for example. But yeah, that's like a big difference between standard and Eternal. Is like, like in standard the ice destruction deck will run out of like Devil Charms, for example, but Cipher doesn't run out and it's kind of free.
Yeah, sadly doesn't.
Do you take an extra tag for this, or do you just use the Cipher?
I think you can just break it with Amakua if you want.
Okay, we're using
doesn't like he doesn't want to. Just decided to trash it with crew, and you will be either getting this crew back or a wheels, kind of maybe an interesting choice here.
We did choose to pop the Cipher, which means that we don't have a great way. Oh wow, we're getting even more money. We're getting
Valentina. That's going to be a lot of value coming down.
Yeah.
Clearing the tag.
And Seb.
The tag is no longer there. Surely Seb trigger officials already. Imagine. Oh, Dean
Yeah.
Lister? Yeah, that's going to be letting us
We're
into
even
HQ.
passing on the God of War installs. Like we're gonna be ridiculously rich, but
Checking R&D, just getting your single access. Like, this is the
can
way you win the
we
game. You just get
wait?
your singles.
If could we break something that's not one strength here? Like if that was an IP block, I guess we just get tagged and bounced, and that's it.
Yeah,
And
you
we
just
pop
get
this.
tagged and bounced. And like,
Yeah.
now you don't actually need to vamp this turn because Augustus down on 2 credits. Installing a Fall Guy makes sure you're not actually looting your stuff. Getting a second vamp, like, yeah, this is tough.
We can let go of Dean Lister probably. Yeah.
Oh, losing 1 credit because we used Cipher this turn, I believe.
We lose 1 hand size. Yeah.
Yeah. So notably, Cipher's huge downside into making any ice 0 strength is that your hand size is lowered by 1 at the end of the turn.
Do we
Which is
just
like
pop
hugely
Singleton?
problematic, I believe.
Do we just
for a
pop
card that's
Singleton for counter current here? It's like, or what's the plan?
Yeah, I think we need to save some amount of same old things for the levy that we might need to keep in hand. But yeah, Augustus actually, Joy thinking about it at least. Yeah, looks like we're just getting the rumor mill back.
Because I mean, it's also money positive somehow. So that's also a great way to win the game.
Somehow. Oh, Keyhole coming down. Kind of a Stargate is a version of this, where Keyhole you can do every like multiple times a turn, and you shuffle after every single run. So yeah, just like you.
Gold Farmer. Gold Farmer is. Oh no, wait, we don't have a.
Oh yeah, Jai going to really quick undo click, get the Arceus screwed on first.
But we don't have the clicks to do everything. So
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
either we can either go to 0. I don't know, wait, you can friendo?
Yeah,
You can
installing Arceus
friendo-
screw first, then
I was thinking you can friendo to take a tag, install the crew, then wheels, and then do everything else.
yeah, no, deciding just to play it safe.
We just want the Gold Farmer gone. Yeah, that's I think like what the end game for this deck is. Like we can systematically just explode all of the ice and say we don't care.
Oh, an Astro Steel is so huge. Augustus could have gotten that scored and would have been on 6 points if that got into the hand. Sadly, being messed up. And yeah, Jai discarding the Keyhole. Like, I think Jai just content
with
making
the
the game last.
Practices that we're gonna play this game, we can get the Keyhole if we need it.
And Jai hovering the Fall Guy, I think we might be waiting for a perfect opportunity to click this to gain the important tags or credits.
Yeah, I think it's like if Augustus was gonna get a lot of money, we wanted to like not gate HHN maybe.
Yeah, I believe so. It could be
because that's you the Fall Guy makes
even more crews coming down. And yeah, I think R&D is going to be blown up again. Oh, that's why we discarded the Keyhole. We can just get it back with privilege access.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. It's like like our heap is just an extension of our hand, considering we're gonna play so many privileged accesses.
Yeah, that's so toxic.
So yeah, Keyhole's coming back.
Keyhole, you get a free Arceus crew from hand, and then you get even a card of this there, and you get a draw from this. This is like just everything doing everything.
I want to get wheels is unique, so you can't get another wheels.
Yeah, Fall Guy's protection. Arceus crew could be blowing up a different server, but yeah, just getting another Fall Guy. There's the anti-tag card. Jargon of Mercs makes sure that you're not dying to anything, basically.
Yeah. I wonder if there is if Jai wants to get more tagged, play the Mercs and then clear all of them.
And I think we're
that's how you get the most power counters out of it, right?
Yeah, I think just happy with kind of a smaller one here.
I guess.
And sending in the vamp. Sending in the vamp.
Yeah, so Augustus is going to 0.
Yeah. Imagine fighting so much to go up to 8 credits, and your runner is just hammering you down, like sending you back down to 0.
Yeah, like this is Oh, are we denying the sub install?
Yeah,
I'm
doesn't look like
surprised we didn't.
want
We
the
don't
extra
get the
tag.
mercs down.
Yeah, it just doesn't want the extra tag, I believe.
Ah, because mercs is another tag as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is I think one of those situations where, as the corp, you're like, I'm like 99% dead, but it's like I'm gonna play it out.
Yeah, in a tournament setting, you just kind of want to take the outs that you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Wheels getting popped for 2 draws, cards, everything, yeah.
Yeah, clear tag.
And remove tag normally and send it with keyhole. Nothing you can res here.
Oh yeah, it's at 0 credits, so this is
Yeah,
100%
everything
safe.
going. Body
You can
clever,
just
key card, shipment key card. But yeah, next turn I think we might be seeing like just run 3.
we're even discarding the mercs, saying we don't need
Mhm.
it at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're already in a position where you can just keep vamping your opponent. So you're
Yeah.
just happy discarding it now. Oh, changing something
Fixing
up?
our discard,
Yeah,
keeping
deciding.
discarding Street Pleather because the deck is empty anyways. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. And keeping the rumor mill if Augustus happens to find the second more scarcities.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder now uh what's stopping us from just keyholing 4 times in a row this turn. Yeah.
I think maybe just considering like first thinking, do I
Ooh.
have to
Yeah.
vamp this turn? Deciding not to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Aumakua.
This is
Even 4 to break, even with Aumakua, kind of Gold Farmer, kind of a tough card to break sometimes.
We take the scarcity. It's an interesting consideration. You could go for the ice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're just cashing in all of the fall guys, and we're probably gonna levy this turn.
Yeah, it does look like it.
Every fall guy is better than a gamble. Is 5 credits.
5 credits, even a draw, but not right now.
Now we want to keyhole. We want to maybe still hold on to the levy. This is still
Mhm.
4 credits. This is a lot.
Yeah,
Gold Farmer, gold good card turns out. Archangel, what? Archangel is kind of wild, no? I have never hit that, and I've never, not even hit. I've never seen anyone hit an Archangel in real
No,
life.
imagine an Archangel if Augustus had credits and Jai cannot break it. Like, bouncing this off campus apartment is game losing.
Oh yeah, that's literally game winning. Yeah.
Yeah. So like Archangel, one of the nastiest trap eyes in the game. Oh, and clearing the scarcity of resources, or clearing rumor with scarcity of resources, and Augustus doesn't have the rumor mill coming back
Oh
online
yeah, anymore.
just yet. Also, the bin is empty, so
Yeah.
could be a scary
Praxis
situation.
doesn't do anything. Yeah.
And
Okay, maybe Augustus found the window.
yeah, could be. First, oh, we did
Post
see.
game?
We did see post through discard last turn, I believe, by the
Oh
keyhole.
yeah.
So no, that's just a free scarcity clearing.
Oh, of course. Wow. Oh, that's what we went for. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, that's big brain. Yeah, just using the actual text on the current card saying it's like winner understeals an agenda, you clear the current. And surely here we can just keep setting up. I wonder if Jai's worried about some crazy like credit gain into HHN, but with
Yeah.
the fall guys, with the fall guy making so much money. Okay, yeah, we know that that's coming.
Yeah, I think we are
But
currently looking for other copies of Crew, so we can trust this Gold
nice.
Farmer and start keyholing even more.
Yes,
Just kind
100%.
of
I think
not sustainable running through Gold Farmer every turn.
yeah, I think like this kind of fast advanced deck is probably not running that much ice. So if
Oh, there it is,
Jai
Crew
can,
coming down.
yeah, I think as soon
Crew.
as um as Rumor Mill goes back again,
Mhm.
and Augustus loses even the chance of like trying to spin back ice or things like that, if that's what if that's what the plan is. Like I can't imagine that there's a lot of ice left in this Nebula deck.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it will be cleared by Keyhole that's still left in the deck. Also,
Yeah.
Screw getting down a wheels for free with the Sebastia ability and
Good.
trashing the gold farmer for like +1 credit and a draw.
Or +1 credit and a card, yes.
Kind of sicko mood. There's
Oh,
3 points.
Bologna. Okay. We're 1 point away from
Mhm.
winning.
Yeah, wheels will get us even more clicks to
More
keep
clicks.
on keyholing.
Yeah. And Keyhole, differently than Stargate, shuffles the deck. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
game.
every time you get even different cards every time, and yeah, just finding the access is there.
Wow. Okay, so we just saw Augustus kind of, well, I wouldn't say stumble, but have a really slow early game.
Mhm.
And Jai just having the god draw of like off campus DJ and a tech trader, just
Yeah,
setting up
like there
really
were a
fast.
couple key turns where Augustus really needed to capitalize and get a second Astro script into the score area,
Mhm.
doing something else. This Beal, kind of like a dead card in the score area right now, just
Yeah.
needed something else. The second, if we have like a Astro in the score area instead of Beal, that opens up so many more different lines to us. Sadly,
Yeah,
didn't line up.
100%.
And Jai managing to like set up this triple Tectra Geist engine, which will just like smother you completely out of anything.
Yes, like I am pretty sure like Jai could delete. We have Praxis, 3 Praxis crew, same old things. Like this deck could delete like 5, 6, 7 more pieces of ice from this
Mhm.
game. So
Yeah, like this crew deck is so difficult to fight with, and we even did like Rumor Mill is such a messed up card. It's
yes.
more than half of the eternal ban list point spending in the list.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's so huge. And I think we are going to switch commentators in the middle.
Yeah,
Me and
I think
Buzzerton are going to tag out.
that
Yeah.
checks out. Thank you both for commenting. Awesome games. Honestly, well played from all 4 of the players we had online today, or at least recorded so far. Thank you both for commenting. Great commentary, honestly. And hope you enjoyed the rest of the stream from the spectator seeds.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, this was very fun. Looking forward to next week.
Awesome.
Yeah, all right.
In that case, folks, I have a new commentator here with me. I have Anarcho Mushroom, the other person behind the organizing the whole league. Anarcho, say hi to the stream.
Hi to the stream. Hello. Yeah, it's amazing to be back. Eternal Super League. God, yeah, it's absolutely wicked that we get a season 2. And yeah, it's watching these games, seeing the meta, seeing what Elevation has done for Eternal, looking at like these Woo decks. Like these Woo decks look incredible. This Nebula deck, like Nebula,
Yeah.
in the Eternal card pool, just looks completely cracked. So yeah, I am just so excited to be back running ESL with Warlock, who's done an amazing job and curating Eternal, and getting the league back. And I can't wait to see even more just sick games. That game just now between Giant Augustus, like what a in contrast to the first game, which I thought was very, very like Eternal coded. Like that was a very Eternal game. This was also like an absolute banger. Just a really, really interesting technical game, and I can't wait to see the next 2 rounds of week 1.
Absolutely. Sebastian, one of those decks that if it gets ahead, it starts taking control of the game relentlessly, the vamps over and over and over to keep the curve down, and then the endless stream of credits that all the resources that Seb has combined with Tech Traders just generates such a huge amount of value that you can spend into keeping the curve down and still progressing your burst state. As I think spoiled earlier, we're going into Dungeon Mixer versus Knight from Chess. as I said earlier, a bit of a team kill, people call it in the chat, as these two players very close to each other, tested and play against each other, and we see another Cabonazawu, 45 cards, so a very slim Cabonazawu, probably something closer to the combo line we've seen earlier from OF 1515. But playing against Mtimu Wakundu, one of the counters, I think, of the deck list, because you can't exactly encore into the Mati, because you'll get another ice installed from HQ, and that will mess up your combo line. So you have to go for a kind of a backup usually, and that involves playing deep dive and trying to snipe as many agendas as possible from the deck.
Yeah, this is probably the deck that I think maybe has, on paper, the best chance into this like Wu combo deck. I guess outside of like, say, like a grinder, IG, or PU deck that's just taking combo pieces out of the hand. But being able to bounce back from the Apocalypse turn and getting, you know, defenses against like the equivocation medium conduit loop is really, really cool. So I'm really interested to see how Dungeon Master fights back against the Mati defenses. I love the start from Mati. It's an iconic start where they just go install advance in a remote, completely no ice on board, and yet you know that actually secretly there's about like 3 Anansi's, a Cortex Lock, and an Engram Flush just waiting on every server.
Yeah, the average MT experience where you can't contest anything because it could become an Anansi out of nowhere at any point.
Exactly. Looks like a pretty standard enough setup turn for the runner, just making money, wooing out some SMCs to get some of the combo pieces. There's a Charlotte Castador, which I think has been, one of the big innovations or big boosts that Mati has been able to get. It's not been an ID that's been very good in Eternal historically, but I think Charlotte has given the deck a really, really strong chance to make a bit of a resurgence, as we've seen over the last sort of 12 months. I think a lot of people have started playing Mati a bit more and actually realizing that it is a very powerful Glacier tool, especially when everybody's packing for assets, or they're just these incredibly fast, powerful combo decks. We're seeing a Hyperdriver come down and an SMC come down. MU just does not matter. Two Hyperdrivers, absolutely cheating some core mechanics of the game here. But I guess that's what Eternal is all about.
Yeah, the one limiting factor on Hyperdriver is the 3MU, but thanks to Leprechaun hosting 2 of them, you don't have to worry about that. And Dungeon Mixer just setting up 3 Hyperdrivers, getting all the clicks necessary, and already ready with a Ritual in hand. One of the few new cards from Elevation that made a big splash in the format is going to set them up so that she can draw, I think, upwards of 12 credits next turn with a single click.
Yeah, I remember you explaining this deck to me when we were like doing some pre-planning about ESL Season 2 and stuff, when you were telling me about the changes. And you see a very rare occasion of Mati installing an extra piece of ice on HQ just for like, you need to make those Faust combo turns, and we're seeing one kick off right now, ritualing for 12 cards. Absolutely ridiculous.
Critically, Dungeon Mixer missing out on the second ritual here, so they'll have to find it by spending their clicks to draw instead of using combo pieces. The combo line has a few extra click, so it's not necessarily one and done if you miss the first ritual, but not the position you want to be in as Dungeon Mixer here, because you really wanted the combo line to go smooth, especially against Mati, where you have to probably go for a backup, and this is not the position where you wanted to see yourself in. We find it likely a couple of clicks later, and that second ritual draws most of the deck. Only 2 cards in the runner stack right now, and looks like many, if not all, of the combo pieces necessary for Dungeon Mixer to continue the line from here.
Yeah, so I guess you've played this Wu deck an awful lot. What do you think is the plan now? Obviously the Mati deck has some pretty taxing ice for Faust now. When you have 30 cards in hand, it's kind of a moot point, but you do need to be a little bit careful about what you're trashing to Faust, what you're breaking. There's obviously, you do need to be careful about these things, that you don't completely overextend. So how are you trying to, if you're the runner here, you're the Wu deck, how are you trying to navigate the defenses that Mati is able to put up, and and successfully combo off.
This is definitely a tricky spot. I think Faust has to come down. Obviously, that's the only way you have to contest ice here. And because of what the ice suite from the Métis looks like, the agenda suite rather, you can't exactly steal many of them without accessing and them being kind of lucky. You have to fight through Obokata's damage and potentially Future Perfect's side games. So I think you can either set up a very big dip dive and try and see as many points, but I think Dungeon Mixer had to spend so many clicks finding the combo pieces that she might be forced to actually use the Encore and hope that the Métis has no ice in hand. There is a very slight chance where Métis can't use or doesn't have enough money to res more ice in your Encore turns, and Dungeon Mixer might have to go for a not a great line against Métis, but the line where you give them a few extra turn and hope that they don't have the resources to actually stop you from going with the medium into Conduit, and ideally not installing the equivocation this time around so you don't feed them extra card, because that's usually something that doesn't matter for most corps, but if you keep giving more cards to Métis on your extra turns, they might be able to install new ice that you then have to face up against.
So this is one of the it's funny seeing this Faust versus Engram Flush. This is a matchup that did exist in Standard very, very briefly when Faust was unbanned and before Engram Flush was banned. And it's a real sucked if you do, sucked if you don't, because you can either let them rip 2 combo pieces out of your hand, which is terrible, or you're giving up 4 cards to break the Engram Flush. And again, when you've got 20 to 30 cards in hand, it feels like it doesn't matter. But this Inside Out is, as we see here, is a DNA tracker. Like, that's rough breaking all of this with Faust. So yeah, if an Anansi comes down or something like that, or another DNA tracker, and without the APOC in hand, like the APOC is in the bottom 2 cards of the deck, that's just really unfortunate for the Wu here. It's a really tricky situation here, I think, to try and combo through.
APOC being in the bottom 2 cards of the deck is not ideal, but luckily for Dungeon Mixer, there is no ice currently on R&D, and if Knight from Chess doesn't install one with the MT trigger, there's a chance you can get your extra turns and not really need the APOC to open up your way into R&D for next turns.
I suppose that's true, but you just need R&D to be empty, and the APOC is there really just to wipe the board of any like potential problematic assets that you might have to deal with in the combo turn, and I guess predominantly to just get rid of all the ice on R&D so that you can just go hard on medium equivocation. We're seeing the runner agonizing over what to get rid of to break this DNA tracker. I think we've gotten we're down 3 cards, I think. I think so. We've managed to go up to the requisite 6 strength and break one of the subroutines. Yeah. Oh no, we managed to break it all. Yeah, so we've broken all of it now. And we get a Métis install. Again, this could be anything. And it is the Anansi. It's always Anansi. It is always Anansi. That's always the Métis install, which, yeah, again, this is just a really, really rough piece of ice to have to break with Faust.
Yeah, and I see 5 more cards. Dungeon Mixer running out of the combo pieces, having to hold on to some of the cards that are necessary to keep the line going, to keep the win possible. And so here, it's really hard to, especially when you have to face up against so many eyes, it's really hard to find exactly the cards you don't need and chuck them away and keep the few that you need, because Dungeon Mixer is going to have to discard a lot of cards through Faust to get through all of these eyes.
Now, I guess the big sort of saving grace is, even though Métis is able to defend on the Encore turns, the Corp currently has no credits. Now, there is a Phantom 3 credits existing on the Charlotte. So there's limited answers. I guess another Engram Flush would be really, really bad. Like, it's going to be really hard to combo through an Engram Flush on R&D. Or maybe like a Cortex lock would be kind of rough. But yeah, it's the Corp being on such low credits does limit the options that they have in terms of defending against the win con for the combo.
Absolutely true. I think one of the best cards for Knight from Chess here would be a Tattoo Bola. Strong ETR and possibly some amount of economy after after Dungeon Master goes through it. So a possibility for the Corp here if they have it in hand. Right now we're going for the Illumination, so the second of the 3 round necessary to get all the Encores down. We're not gonna even have enough clicks to fire all the Encores by the looks of it. So a bit of a
two extra turns here, I think.
We'll see if those are enough to get all the points necessary. MT famously known for playing a lot of 5-3s, maybe a few 4-2s, so the intensity is not terribly low, but not really high either. And the steal on the first round R&D, getting an easy Mark II out of R&D, that's a great start from Dungeon Mixer.
Yeah, that's a really, really strong start. I think we had a little undo. I think, oh yeah, they changed. They weren't Illumination running. They were just running R&D normally, it looks like. I assume in case they see an Obokata, I'm not quite sure. Or maybe they're going for the deep dive plan. I'm not super certain what it is they're looking to do here. If they go for the Encore, because now is kind of your best. You're only realistically going to be able to resolve one because you can't APOC the board, and there's no way you're breaking into HQ again.
Yeah, I mean, if Dungeon Master wants to go for the Encore here, it's the only window to, and I think it's kind of necessary because Deep Dive doesn't win you the game, and there is no way you get any accesses past from this turn. So I think Dungeon Master is all in on getting the extra turns, and they're really hoping to get through any ice that Knight from Chess can install from hand. Crucially, I think one of the missteps the Dungeon Master might have gone through in their combo turn is that CBI raid is a way to empty Dimty hand on your HQ run. That makes it so MT cannot install more ice on your future turns, but Dungeon Master decided not to play it, and right now Knight from Chess might have a piece of ice in HQ that can defend R&D on the later turn.
So we're seeing some out of the ash. So this is the first of 2 extra turns that the runner has access to. So there's 8 real clicks, but then we've also got these kind of phantom out of the ashes clicks. I think there's 4 or 5. I think I saw in the heap. So we'll have sort of an extra. I think in total there's going to be 12 or 13 runs.
Yeah, it looks like 12 runs in total.
Okay.
The out of dashes won't get you extra accesses, but they will charge the conduit if it gets installed, which I think is why Dungeon Master waited on the out of dashes and might fire them at the start of their next turn instead of the first of the 2 extra turns. And digging 12 deep out of 38, Dungeon Master has to find the remaining 5 points at least that they need to win the game.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. Like, you also have to plan around the fact that you're probably going to need to steal an Obokata at some point, which is, if we're going to be illuminationing here, is very, very hard to do. Now, there is a film critic, but if you get particularly unlucky with accesses, it might put you in a bit of a pickle. So yeah, we're going to just try and go for it all in this turn. Getting the conduit down, charging up the conduit, getting film critic down so we can steal an Obokata, and just hoping that 12 odd runs is enough to get it done.
Crucially, Knight from Chess installing an ice on R&D with the Mateo ability, but 3 cards are not enough to res it apparently, and so we're not getting an extra tax on the R&D. If that had been res, there would probably have been game, because I don't think Dungeon Master can get through any ice more than a couple of times with that Faust as the only breaker left. Maybe with the Diesel, but it would have definitely slowed down the Woo right now. And instead, Dungeon Master getting through that ice unres and finding as many runs as possible to charge up the conduit and ideally find the points that they're missing.
Yeah, so these out of the ashes runs, they're not going to be gaining the extra accesses, but they will be getting, as you said earlier, they will be charging up the conduit. So I think it works out at, what is it? There's 4 out of the ashes, So it ends up being, I think, an extra 8 cards seen on this turn, but this is the last turn. You got to find 5 points in the next couple cards. Ideally, if you can find some cheap trashables, like a few Charlottes, it might get you an extra access or two. But yeah, it's a tall order at this point.
Yeah, 4 clicks to go. If you find an Obokata on your last few clicks, you can still put it on the Film Critic and kind of dare the Corp to find a way to win or trash it before your next turn. So Dungeon Mixer has 4 clicks to find at least 2 points to steal and 3 from a defensive agenda that they can install. They can steal on, or they put rather on the Film Critic. And here is the first one. You can't steal this Obokata, but Film Critic can host it for a while. And if you find enough points in the next 3 clicks, you can then secure it with 2 more clicks on your following turn, passing the turn to the Métis once again, but without any worry probably about it.
Not hosting the Oboe and then using the Diesel, I wonder, did Dungeon Mixer perhaps, were they going for maybe, or was she going for maybe a steal on the Oboe perhaps?
Yeah, I think that's what she was going for, because the extra cards would have put her on 4 cards, but the Diesel discards, gets played, so it gets out of the hand, and that would only put her on 3 cards, which are not enough. The from the chat we got the message was, I was assuming as well, that some of these players are playing while talking to each other, so it makes absolute sense that they could share this information about undoing a click like this, which you might have to at least ask your opponent for permission here. The 2 cards that are in the stack don't really matter at the end of the day for this game. I don't think anyone would be against this. And very interestingly, Dungeon Mixer spends 2 more clicks to draw, so limiting a bit the amount of cards she can find on R&D with the Conduit, but instead deciding to try and steal the Obokata with this last click, and then hopefully find another agenda that she can put on the Film Critic.
Yeah, I guess you're sort of saying that you're going to need to steal. You will probably need to steal 2 Obokatas. It's not impossible that you need to steal 2 Obokatas anyway to win the game. And just saying, we'll just do this one now because you're not getting back in. And if you find that second Obokata, then you can put it on Film Critic. But I don't think you need to go for it there and then. I think you can just, as you say, spend those extra 2 clicks digging a little bit deeper. You get an extra card deeper as well because of now the Corp isn't rezzing this ice, so I wonder, is that like an Anansi maybe?
It might be too expensive. Yeah, it might be too expensive for the Corp to res, or it might be an Engram Flash which does nothing, and the Future Perfect is enough for Dungeon Mixer to steal the win right at the end, getting through that ice once again. Yeah, and the scream in the chat is, we can feel the emotion, even through a replay.
Yeah,
absolute wild.
So tense. I was certain as soon as the runner passed and the Corp just clicks for credits, if that's any ice, it straight doesn't matter. There's nothing left for the runner to be able to do. No tricks available. I was certain that Dungeon Master was just out and the Corp can just score behind a single Tattoo Bola. But yeah, really, really well played. This combo deck just looks so wild.
It's incredible how well it performed against one of its worst matchups. Dungeon Mixer getting away with murder, I think, by getting quite unlucky on the ritual draw, that's for sure. But then she made through the ice that MT installed 2 turns in a row, despite the Corp getting a few credits, and getting the last agenda on this time around. I think that probably the very last turn where she could have actually gotten an R&D.
Really, really well played there. And yeah, you can see there, like, again, not going for the Obokata on the Film Critic there looked a little bit suspect in time, but it ended up paying off because there was, if that is a resable ice, there's no way that you're going to be able to contest that Future Perfect over and over again. So yeah, so really well played by both players. Really interesting to see this Wu deck do so well into the face of one of its worst matchups, and yeah, I think it's. I can see. Okay, there's 4 woos. I think I saw in the meta breakdown. I would not be surprised if that number slowly creeps up over phase 2 and phase 3, which was what happened last year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe woo's broken. I don't know. You tell me.
Very good ID, definitely. And Coalescence, one of the most recent cards that got added to the deck, is a very good engine for the deck. Let's see game 2 of this same matchup. We have this time around Knight from Chess running, and spoiler, folks, we have a very similar looking runner. 45 cards Woo. This time around playing against a 49 cards CI. So different matchup. CI a few less defensive resources against Woo, but possibly a faster combo depending on if Dungeon Master is on like a brain rewiring or some kind of fast advance, or 2 kind of options running around modernly of CI.
Yeah, it's. I was actually looking at the pairings, and I was wondering, would we have a match this in this week that isn't Nebula, or would we have a round that doesn't feature Nebula or Woo? But I don't think we can. But great to see CI. The numbers of CI have really dropped down. I think going into maybe, I think towards the end of last year, over like certainly in the months following ESL 1, I think it was pretty clear that CI was maybe the best corp in Eternal, and now with the release of Elevation, it looks like it's kind of dropped in numbers to go from being a very strong meta presence to only being, I think this is the only CI in the field.
Yeah, this is the only CI we have here, and to be fair, CI got a lot of points since the end of ESL last year. Big Deal got
beta test.
Yeah,
getting
Big Deal got 1 point, and Helium Beta Test got 2 points. Yeah, for the sake of being probably one of the greatest tech card that CI can play. Since when you get to almost infinite credits, practically, I think, on the CI, you can just trash whatever you feel like, whatever is not a program. So that ended up being the reason why CI got so many points on the different tech cards that at least the Big Deal deck was playing.
Yeah, something very funny about Netrunner's most powerful format having such powerhouses as the Devas and Helium Beta Test being banned or restricted in some way. Very interesting format. We're seeing here Knight from Chess. The prep is there. We have 3 hyperdrivers down already. All we need to do is find some of those rituals, and we can start going off.
Yeah, this Woo deck famously wants a mulligan for that ritual. It's the only part of the combo that you have to find in some way. And now Knight from Chess is set up to fire off all the extra clicks, but they have to find the ritual first. You really want to fire the first ritual with all the clicks available, so you get the maximum draw. And so now we're probably going to go on a roll down drawing through the stack, trying to find that card. And the hard part is keeping all the combo pieces relevant in hand before you kind of you find the necessary piece. So you have to know which part of the combo you can discard and find again, which part is not strictly necessary to go through the winning line, and which part you have to keep in hand. It looks like Knight from Chess keeping the 2 Encores, 1 Illumination, and the Conduit in hand. Probably 4 cards that they need to play later on when the combo actually starts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is an interesting matchup where both sides aren't really doing anything with one another. The CI is just happy to keep playing clearances until they're able to find their combo. Same with the runner. The runner is happy to just kind of set up, find their pieces. There's the first ritual, so we're getting pretty close. I wonder, is there a... You played this deck a lot. Are you happy to just fire off that first ritual when you see it without having the second one in hand already, just trusting that you're drawing, what is it, 12 cards, 13 cards?
Out of the 20, yeah, out of 23 in the stack, definitely. With 30-ish cards in the deck, you still have a very good chance of finding the ritual, and you have extra clicks, you have diesels lying around, so you have backups if you don't find the necessary card right away. If I was in Knight from Chess's shoes here, I would definitely fire off the combo. You also really don't want to give your opponent enough space to actually build a game plan and slow you down in some ways. And so going for the win ASAP is definitely, I think, in the runner's mind. And I think here Dungeon Mixer is going to make it as hard as possible on Knight from Chess to fire off the all the Encores and the APOC.
So this, I'm trying to think here, is... So these CI decks, there's an efficiency committee. That's a decent enough start. These CI decks, if memory serves, used to play a ton of really big, like expensive ice stuff like Fairchild, Prime, Tears. I think there was, I remember, God, I can't remember what the kind of stuff that Toron was playing when he won ESL 1 with this deck. Are they still on these big chunky pieces of ice that Faust just crumples to, or have we seen the ice lists sort of change over the past 12 months?
I think we're about to find out. I think the more fast advanced lists like this one that looks like it, at least from the efficiency committee, tend to play more mid-rangey ice, if you can call them that, like the MIC. But the one big hit that I think we might see in Dungeon Mixer's deck is IQ. It costs an arm and a leg from the CI, but it has strength equal to your hand size right now, and so it can be a massive hit on Faust, taking... right now it would be just 6 cards only to get to the necessary strength to interface with the ice.
IQ seeing play in Eternal. That's sick. That's great stuff. So Double Mick is pretty good. It burns up 2 clicks. Now I don't know how much the 2 clicks matters. The combo does have a bit of wiggle room in terms of how many clicks it needs. In theory, it just needs 3 for the central runs, APOC, and then the 3 Encores is 7.
Yeah, something like that. I think you also have to install the Faust and fire off the 1 or 2 rituals at the start. IQ coming out exactly as I said earlier is one of the worst ice, I think, for Knight from Chess here. And the extra clicks from MIC are annoying. Although I think Knight from Chess very smartly fired off the 2 Out of the Ashes early to get the 2 extra runs that they needed for the Encores and the Apocalypse. And so I think they're going to have enough clicks to go through the lines without any worry, even though Dungeon Mixer res 2 MICs on HQ.
So this is going to be 6 cards to get up to strength, plus 1 for the end of the run. It's only 1 end of the run sub, I'm pretty sure.
It is only 1 in the run, yeah. So ends up being 7 cards. Quite expensive. Definitely putting a bit of a hamper on how deep the combo can go for Knight from Chess. But if it looks like they have exactly enough cards, Illumination to install the 2 multi-access cards, the 3 Encores, and the APOC. I think they kept exactly the 7 cards that they need to perform the combo. And here, the matchup against CI is really interesting because you don't know if CI has enough points in hand that you can't win from R&D. CI is the kind of deck that can possibly hide enough points in HQ, and the CBI raid that Knight from Chess is playing here is in the deck as partially for that exact reason, so that you put all the cards from CI on R&D once again, and if they were hiding any agenda in HQ, if Dungeon Mixer was hiding any agendas, Knight from Chess would still be able to find enough to win the game.
I think as well, Knight from Chess, if you take the Illumination discount, I think they're credit perfect to Apocalypse, Illumination run, installing the Conduit and Equivocation, because they're both reduced by 1. So 3 for APOC, 3 for Conduit, 1 for Equivocation, and then all the Encores are free. So they've just exactly enough credits to be able to pull off the combo. But yeah, this CBI raid, I'm very interested to see what the CBI piles are, what ends up back in R&D, and what gets held in HQ.
That's not an option. CBI Raid puts every card in the HQ on top of R&D.
Everything?
Yeah, all the cards. Yeah, absolutely. It's not like information sifting where you divide in 2 piles. It's 100% of the HQ content goes back on R&D, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Dungeon Mixer
Oh
with
yeah,
no
so it
cards
is
in
everything.
hand.
So, yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I was thinking of information sifting. Another classic, weird, criminal, disruptive piece, usually played in decks that are up to no good. So yeah, we're gonna see the equivocation come down. Get the conduit, or sorry, the illumination. Get the conduit. Get the equivocation. I guess the apocalypse isn't needed. There's no ice on R&D.
Yeah, Knife and Chess saving the 3 credits, saving the extra click, and just going all in on the conduit here. Funnily enough, the CBI raid put all the cards from HQ into R&D, and Knife and Chess is going to put as many cards as possible back in Dungeon Mixer's HQ, thanks to that equivocation.
Yeah, kind of undoing some of the work that the CBI raid did, but still, you're pretty happy. I wonder, does that add like a level of mind games? Do you end up sort of like mind gaming yourself into trying to think like, okay, well, if they're going to equivocation back this, then maybe I put this in this position. It's probably thinking too hard about it at that point, but
yeah, you might be able to game it slightly so that the equivocation, you don't get to use equivocation all that often, but I think you're gonna use equivocation every time you don't find an agenda, and once you're digging 3 to 4 cards deep, the agenda is probably not there already. One really important thing here, is this Cyberdeck Sphero's side. Very common in scoring CI's list, actually probably all the CI's list, and it makes it really hard for Conduit to dig particularly deep. So Dungeon Mixer might have hit enough of them, like equally spaced out in the HQ pile, so that Knife from just can't exactly dig past them very easily.
Yeah, now Knight from Chess still has quite a few clicks. There's another Vacheron, just such a feels bad agenda. I wonder if maybe you save some of the Out of the Ashes for if you hit that CVS to build back up your conduit. We're seeing an Iqua project there as well. So they'll be able to get that this turn, which is good, but it will leave them on no money. So it's I was about to say in case they hit another Iqua project, but they just hit the Luminol instead. So that's 7 points.
Unnecessary to steal more. Also, if you have enough clicks, you can just get a few credits and run back once you know.
That's true.
But yeah, getting what is it? 9 and 4, 13 points through that line, 6 of which are not real, quote unquote, because of those veterans, which although start ticking much earlier because they trigger on the start of runner's turn, so the extra encores do remove a few counters here and there from the veterans early on. But well played from both players. It looks like a runner split, the first split we have so far. Both combo woos getting the W, going through very hard HQ runs in both games by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's this combo woo deck is just really, really strong. There's 2 very, very clear front runners on both sides. I think we're about to see the Nebula deck up next in the hands of kind of its biggest advocate. But yeah, like this woo deck just seems to have such consistency. It's a lot of combo pieces in required, but it's able to pull off the combo with shocking consistency. It reminds me of Cold Ones if Cold Ones was somehow more consistent, which is
something
pretty spooky.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, let's get into our last matchup for the week. We have Mezzy playing against Toron, so the reigning champion playing against a newcomer in the league, but one that has put a lot of hours into playing Eternal. Mezzy, if you have been around playing Eternal recently, you've heard of Mezzy, one of the most vocal people in the community right now. And they ended up going with an Andromeda playing against Asa Group from Toron.
Toron's an Asa Group. That is sick as hell. That is so cool. And yeah, so I can already see that there's an illumination hand. So Mezzy This is a deck that I remember chatting to Mezzy about briefly a couple of months ago. Is this Illumination Andromeda deck? You forego, I think, some of your influence. Yeah, basically saying 9 cards plus Illumination lets you do like a bunch of setup, which is what you're setting up is this Au revoir Snitch Zamba engine, which is extremely cool. And I'm very, very excited to see it in action. But I'm also very excited to see what Asa Group is up to. This Asa Group and VLC, there's just something very, very beautiful about that combination of cards.
Yeah, as a group, the choice I feel like for more asset-focused HP decks recently. But yeah, you were mentioning, and it absolutely makes sense. Illumination out of Andromeda is a new inclusion. I feel like one that became popular very recently, and it gives a lot of extra power to. And I did it size of 9 cards, so has a lot of selection for that first Illumination. And obviously you're playing Criminal, so you're kind of forced to, on the corp side, to defend HQ so you don't get account siphon very early, and that opens up the possibility for an early Illumination that gets you enough points to enough actions to get ahead in the game, even with HQ iced up.
So yeah, Mezzy's just going to check these remotes. There's a gatekeeper here on the remote, so that's fine. Not the end of the world. Toron will get a little bit of tempo from the gatekeeper, but more than okay. There's a vulnerability audit. Now that's an agenda. HP is not lacking for good 5/3s. So playing a vulnerability audit, I think that is some that's some shenanigans. And we're seeing as well a really fun combo of tech startup into humanoid resources. Tech startup basically asking, or basically it's one of these cases where it's humanoid resources is actually sort of better than Rashida, is the combo with tech startup. But yeah, humanoid resources in Asa, that sounds like a cook. That sounds like a lot of very, very fun interaction.
Yeah, the tech setup doesn't combo, as you said, with Rashida because you miss out on the trigger. But the human resources, you can wait a little bit and use the extra clicks, and so you fire the Rashida-like effect where you get 3 credits, 3 cards, and then get to install 2 cards and play an operation. So fully using your turn, and it looks like turn gets to install 2 cards. Will probably play an operation. And thanks to Azure Group, they get an extra install, which is going to be a lot of value, especially after drawing 2 cards from that Gatekeeper earlier on.
Yeah, one could argue that this is fully operational, as it were. I think there's just a little tidy up of the board state here. Asa, I think, triggering when it perhaps shouldn't have. I think the tech startup install eats the Asa trigger, so there should be 1 less install. I think that ice on server 1 shouldn't have been installed. And look, there we are. There's fully operational, right on cue.
Very minor effect here, only using it for 1 server, 4 credits, so a small beanstalk royalties in a way. But Turn, I think here, very happy to just start setting up the board and ideally making it much, much bigger in the future turns. Right now, having to contest against this Alarm Clock, I think one card that you don't see that often, but something that helps you get more pressure into HQ and forcing a res on FC3.
FC3 on HQ is going to stop a lot of the criminal pressure. Lakshmi Smart Fabrics, there's a card that we haven't seen in a while, but really, really strong. This looks like a sweet deck from Toron. It looks like these kind of value HB asset decks, the kind of sort of ETF moons that maybe some players might be familiar with, or the Cybernetics Court Asa decks that were very, very popular in kind of 2020. Yeah, so far it just looks like it wants to probably find a Jeeves at some point or a Wage Workers and just start bioticking out agendas, bioticking out luminals, bioticking out successful field tests, get a bunch of counters on an Estelle Moon. We did see an Estelle Moon from HQ. Yeah, this looks like just a very kind of, I wouldn't say old school, but a very classic kind of value HB asset deck.
Yeah, exactly. Sitting out of CI, because CI costs a lot of points, and so you have to go on a more point light ID, I think, to fit in all the cards you want. And Asa makes absolute sense. It sets up more eyes, it protects a few of your key assets, including that Lakshmi Smart Fabric. That looks like the win condition, I think. The one way you get to keep agendas on the board without the runner being able to steal them. And also putting enough ice on the board so that your fully ups are extremely effective. Right now, Mezzi is sitting on 2 credits, in a bit of a pickle, has to decide on what to keep, decided to trash the discard rather the Illumination, and turn takes the chance to just install 3 more cards with that Asa trigger, and playing that fully operational last to draw a few more cards and get a few more credits and keep the train rolling. Earthrise triggering, and then we have a alarm clock trigger. Mezzi asking if she can get a jack out from the alarm clock before encountering. I don't think that's possible. Yeah, and turn agrees with my ruling.
You have to encounter the first piece of ice. You're locked into encountering that. Anything after that, you're allowed jack out, and that's when you can start doing Au revoir shenanigans. I kind of wonder, is this deck on something like a Jack Sinclair maybe as well, to get extra free runs and basically turn your Au revoirs into sort of super Rozekis? But yeah, Mezzi just looking for money, probably wants to get the Zamba Amakua down at some point. That's kind of the big engine that you used to see in Standard for a while, was this sort of Zamba, I think was it Net Tap was the other part of the combo, where you just end up not actually making a lot of runs, but fueling an Amakua, which then just melts through basically every single ice in the game.
Yeah, GPI Tap or Snitch, I think, is the other card that a lot of
Snitch.
Yeah, some of these Andromeda decks are playing to help getting all the exposes and all the jackouts for free, where you get the overwork money. Turn triple advancing the Luminal, and then using the clicks to install a Moon, one of the most expensive card point-wise for this deck, which feeds off of more installs into remotes, and will get turn more extra cards and a lot of money to play around in the future, that's for sure.
Moons and Asa is just a real match made in heaven. Asa wants to keep installing these remotes, which fuels your fully operationals, which also then happens to fuel your Estelle Moons as well. So yeah, great turn. Luminal just so powerful at enabling these, super valuable turns. Mezzi getting the last of her Earthrise Hotel counters, or draws rather. Probably going to put down, I'd say, the Amakua. Tauron can't really res anything. Now, there could be a Mumba Temple hiding in one of these, either server 3 or server 6. You've also got all the money from Estelle Moon as well to pop, but I think maybe you want to wait a little bit longer, try and get more value out of it. But I think Mezzi's going to try and kind of force the issue a bit here and try and deal with this Estelle Moon before it gets too out of hand.
Yeah, Mezzi has access to the credits on Miss Bones, and very happy to find that deck startup before Tauron gets a chance to fire off another one of those humanoid resources. And now it looks like we're going on Certified, trying to force that Estelle Moon. You have to pop it to res anything meaningful here, so you'll never get the chance to trash it. But you're quite happy to make it go away, so it doesn't get more and more counters, which would equate to even more resources that Tauron can play with. So kind of limiting the effect of Moon in that way.
We're seeing as well a jack out happening. There is this kind of strange kind of mind game that you kind of have to play, where do you res the ice to deny them the Au revoir value, or do you let them basically just get almost like a free Desperado going for 1 credit? you're probably happy just giving them 1 credit. But once you start to get 2 or 3 RFRs and you start to be able to jack out for 3 credits, it starts to become very, very tricky. Not checking server 3. Now, it's not. It could be, say, a Wage Workers or a Jeeves in server 3. It didn't get rezzed this turn. Could be an Agenda, and that's why we're seeing it double iced. Or, oh no, looks like Torn is getting a take back here and playing a Violet level instead.
So here, Mezzi has a chance if they value the credits to send off that first account siphon here, showing the 3 points spent on that event, but getting a lot of money out of it. You can click through the FC3, it's a little expensive, but I don't think Mezzi minds being tagged. There aren't many resources on the board that we care about losing, I think. And I'm not expecting any tag punishment from Aza, except of maybe 1 Grease in the Palm here and there to get the extra value. I think so. That could be a play that Mezzi goes for to get a bunch of money to try and fuel the next few turns. It looks like we're actually instead using the Boomerang to do that. So we're saving a few clicks and probably paying a few credits on the first of the subs and kind of going through the Enderun / core damage sub, letting it rest fire. Trashing the classic, very interesting. So deciding the effect of the classic is not necessary anymore, and just getting through with the Boomerang, stealing a lot of credits, putting Torn back to 4 credits, so not a lot to res with 4 credits, unlikely to be able to score on the next turn. And we'll see if this window where Torn is a little light on credit will give Mezzi enough of breathing room to start challenging this board. And we're going after the Lakshmi.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to deal with the Lakshmi at some point. You're also likely going to get the Miss Bones trash. Now, Torrent's very low on credits. If there's like maybe a Marlin or something on the board that starts ticking, or another kind of econ piece, maybe trashing the Miss Bones is valuable. But I do think that this Miss Bones isn't long for this world. You may as well get rid of the Lakshmi now, and it does make your life a little bit easier later on down the line at actually closing out the game.
Torrent in a bit of a pickle here.
Another Estelle Moon sitting on the board just waiting to be res, and we're probably going to see a couple of installs now to charge that up. Could also see the 3rd fully operational come out. And we're seeing, a Friends in High Places. This card is I got to play with this card in a snake draft a couple of weeks ago, possibly months ago now at this point. Time has no meaning. But yeah, I got to play with this card again recently, and it's busted. We don't see it much in Eternal these days, but it is absolutely cracked in half.
Yeah, Friends in High Places is 2 points of worth of Eternal points there, but an absolute broken effect, that's for sure. 2 cards coming from archives and straight onto the board. It's a terminal event, so you don't get to Eternal Operation, so you don't get to combo off of it. But with Moon already on the board, that charged up even more. Now Torrent has a very easy button to press that will give him 6 credits and 3 cards. So we're back in some kind of money thanks to that Moon sticking out on the board for a little longer and getting by Mezzi.
The big thing now, though, for Mezzi is Mezzi has found the Snitch, which is going to now let this engine start to rolling. And once you get these engine pieces going, you have the Snitch, you have the RFRs, and then you get the Zamba then on top. This engine starts to make a lot of money very, very quickly, and you get to see these Amakuas go from having no counters on it to being able to break Fairchild 3s very, very quickly, very, very easily.
Yeah, Mezzi right now can click for 2 credits as long as she jacks out of the first ice she encountered with Snitch, and you can do that every click, so there's no limitation on how many times you can do that. If the Zamba hits the board, that becomes a 3 credits per click, and that slowly but surely charges up the Omakua, which will inevitably just break any ice for 1 credit for each subroutine. So the strength of the ice is about to be very, very did not matter at all. But in the meantime, Torrent's trying to rush out the game. We get a off-roll off his score to bounce back with some amount of money and setting up on 4 points, so possibly being able to score 3 more if Toron finds the correct cards, the correct setup on the board to get the agendas out.
Yeah, so this is the thing with these kind of value HB decks, is that their scoring plan is kind of relies a little bit on, if you don't find your fast advance tools, it does rely on just kind of sneaking agendas out on the board with Jeeves. Toron does have 9 credits. He can res basically any ice in his deck now at this point, and still be pretty good economically. But yeah, Snitch, you're going to see the power of Snitch here in full force. Now Mezzy knows that she can break through this Kesselroyd. She can just go through, see whatever it is in my Toron joking about it's a trap deck is going to be fire. I can't wait now. This is why I love the ASL, because now you're going to start seeing people slot it's a trap in phase 2 in case they have to pair up against Mezzy's Andromeda Snitch deck. And you see it's just a humanoid resources. I think we knew this. I think there was a tech startup fired, so I think we actually knew what this was. Yeah, I think Mezzy's now just going to try and clear the board. Jeeves is the main scoring tool that these decks used. It lets you biotic out 4/2s. Yeah, I think Mezzy now just needs to try and get through dismantle the board a little bit, and then she can just start to pivot then to central pressure, because as we can see, there's 15 cards left in R&D. The agenda, and only 2 agendas have been surfaced. So they have to be somewhere, and I think it's pretty easy at this point to deduce where they may possibly be.
Yeah, the main roadblock for Mezzy here is that Lakshmi Smart Fabrics. You'd love to get through the ice here and trash the Jeeves as well, because I think Toron really relies on that Jeeves to get agendas out. We've seen the 4/3, the vulnerability audit getting shuffled earlier, so we can kind of expect that to be the way that Toron wants to clear this game, or to finish this game off. But the Lakshmi can be the way that that agenda can stay on the board and keep at it. So I think Mezzy has to deal with it sooner rather than later. And if Toron installs the 4/3 and reses anything, holding the extra agenda in hand, he might be able to just sneak it by. Although you also would need an extra click to score it out, so maybe a little off right now. Very good draw, I think, on Mezzy's side with that account siphon. If you only need 1 more credit on the Omakua to get it through, and I don't think Toron can do much about the credit denial. So I think Toron will likely be going down to very few credits at the end of his next turn.
Now the one sort of grace that I think he might have is that this working prototype is, it's going to be very hard for Mezzy to land an effective siphon while this working prototype is in play, because it is going to provide a very, very good source of income for Toron. The other thing is there is that upgrade in R&D, which my gut would tell me is a CVS, which could be a huge blowout if Mezzy does go for the siphon play here. So I think she just needs to be a little bit cautious with when she goes for the account siphon or the diversion of funds, as it happens to be. But just going to see checking Server 9, just see what was installed out naked. Could be a Spin Doctor or a Jackson. I don't know if this deck has the points. It's a Warm Reception.
Warm Reception and Working Prototype, a package that we see a lot in Standard, but I don't think is very common in Eternal. I'm really interested to see.
It seems quite underpowered for Eternal almost.
It does power up the Lakshmi Smart Fabric really quickly, because you get the durez and re-res stuff, so you get a lot of counters that you can play around. And you might, if you have enough credits, you might be able to de-res a Gatekeeper and use it again with that extra strength. Here we see a CVS getting used to purge various counters on the run against the Fragile 3, so denying the account siphon from Mezzy's side bit of a very smart move, I think, from Toron here, saving it for the very last moment, getting some of the stuff crashed, but making sure that the one run that really mattered gets stopped dead in its tracks.
Mezzi going for the Zamba install. I don't know if... I guess this deck makes money so quickly. You can kind of afford to just drop a Zamba, go to 1 credit, because you are going to be gaining, what is it, like 3 credits a run now, and you're going to supercharge your Amakua. So, 2 runs and we're already back up. We've gone back above. But yeah, I think it's, at this point, I would probably maybe just try and deal with this Lakshmi, or maybe just go for an Au revoir run on Archives, for example. Yeah, we're seeing the Fairchild 3 on server 7.
Yeah, I think the
don't
Zamba
think Torn has the credits to win off of this.
11 seems a little low, but if Toron has a nano management or a biotic level labor, it might be enough to score a 4-3 and close out the game. We'll have
I
to
think
see.
he's 1 credit short. I think.
For a 5-3, maybe for a 4-3? If it's
For
a
4-3,
vulnerability
yeah,
audit?
It's 12 credits to... Or, sorry, yeah, you're non-advancing it. So, yes, sorry, yeah, for 8 credits is fine.
Mezzi opting for the economic play, going up to 6, charging up the Omakua all the way to 3, and the Zamba kind of tells me that we're betting on the game going a little longer, and so we might be able to extract value from that install. Right now, Toron installing more stuff and using the I think the last copy of fully operational to draw a few cards, and I think we'll get a lot of money to play with, so we're kind of immune, or at least resistant, to the next account siphon, whether Mezzi decides to play it here, and she did end up drawing with the class act, so definitely a possibility to get more credits and maybe challenge the board with the next few clicks.
So yeah, we're seeing an advanced card here in server 7. That basically, I think it has to be an agenda. It's almost impossible for it to be anything else unless Toron is playing NGO fronts or Charlottes. And yeah, now we start to see, once you get 2 snitches down, these Amakuas just start to really rack up in strength. We're gaining 2 counters on Amakua without even having to encounter a piece of ice. Mezzi's going for... Now, does she know that there's the CVS and Archives?
Yeah, it looks like a risky run. We're gonna lose all the counters from Makua. That being said, every time you encounter a face down ice, you get 2 counters back. It looks like there were some agendas getting discarded by Toron earlier.
But once you have Lakshmi in play, it all kind of... It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. As long as you're holding onto the other one, definitely. So we know 1 is in Archives and 1 is in HQ by the looks of it. So we know where every offer office is, and we'll see if Mezzi can find more agendas of different types of agendas at this point in R&D.
We're seeing a tributary get rezzed. Mezzi just kind of doesn't care. It's the last click. It's probably game. I don't know what.
Hoping to
see these Lakshmi counters get spent. Yeah, just playing the vulnerability audit. I guess if that's a 2-pointer, it might not be the vulnerability audit.
There's a chance, although Toron showing the other one from hand would have probably installed, and ends up scoring it out by advancing it 3 times.
Good game to both players. I really like this sort of Snitch deck. I know Snitch was it's a card that hasn't really seen a lot of Eternal play. I know in the original version of the points list, it was pointed pretty heavily preemptively, just because in Standard, certainly the Snitch, Au revoir, Zamba, that taps deck was very, very oppressive and was able to just generate a huge amount of credits and ice kind of invalidation very, very quickly. But we haven't really seen it in Eternal, but it's great to see. I think Illumination is this kind of glue, the key enabler for this kind of deck to exist when combined with Andromeda. You just get to play the engine on turn 1, and just really, really cool engine to see in Eternal, but really two really, really cool decks. After seeing a Woo or a Nebula in every single turn or in every single round so far, love this this palette cleanser of two really interesting fresh decks for the Eternal meta.
Yeah, I was about to say, definitely a different matchup from the ones we've seen earlier. A lot more grindy. Currently, I think the Snitch or War package is sitting on 1 point for the Snitch, and 1 extra point if you count the Omakua as part of the whole ensemble. But very powerful. It gets you through a lot of ice. It's great against Glacier, against MT, and possibly some other slow and more ice-focused decks. And gets you enough money that you can contest all of these asset lists anyway, and the extra misbones that already sits in the faction is does a lot to propel you into the mid game, where all your engine starts going online and all your clicks becomes really, really efficient. Now, we've seen a lot of Woo, we've seen a lot of Nebulas. We've seen a game that doesn't involve either of them. Get ready for a Whiplash, because the next game, I think, is a Woo against Nebula, if I'm not mistaken. Although
I think is this the first Woo versus Nebula we've seen tonight?
Yes, I think that's the case. Although, by looking at Torrent's side of the field, it is a different Woo than the 3 we've seen earlier. This is the first World 3 Woo we've seen in Phase 1, so definitely a different game, and we're waiting for a much longer game, I think, than the more combo-oriented Woo list that we've seen in the few games earlier.
Yeah, this was kind of the deck to beat at ESL Season 1 last year. I think we've seen all of the Woos that are in the tournament so far for Phase 1. I know Ace Empress was on a bye round this week. But I don't know if she's playing Woo either. But I think all the Woos, bar Toron, have been combo Woo. This is the only World Tree Woo, which I know has been pointed out pretty hard, but still obviously exists within the meta to some degree.
Yeah, I think if I'm doing my math right, I think we know Ace Empress is on Nebula, but not on Woo. I can't remember exactly. I think she might be the one ESA player we haven't seen. That might have been CD Raw actually. So it might be. It might be the she's on Haley Kaplan. That's Haley, the one AD we haven't seen. Yeah, another shaper, but definitely a different one. Definitely less. I mean, kind of combo-y, but a lot different. But let's focus on this game for now, as we see Toron setting up the engine he has been studying for a year about at this point, with Shahrazad, World Tree, Dag Deer, and getting all the value possible from Kabonaza Woo, sitting against a deck that's known for very aggressive kill lines and scoring patterns, and punishing you from running early. So this HHN, great against early runners, although Kabonaza Woo is one of the few decks that can very easily get that misdirection on the board and kind of saving themselves from the tag hell that early HHN might be.
It's still a deck that does want to that does play pretty low to the ground, so you can get got by an HHN. But yeah, obviously having access to misdirection does make things an awful lot easier. And yes, there is a misdirection in the deck, because of course there is. There's 130 cards or so.
Yeah, you can kind of find any good programs in there. 135 cards. Any program you might think you'd want, it's probably in the list. So getting away with murder here, at least getting away with not having enough credits to clear tags, but using the toolbox that World True gets to play to clear all the tags. And Mezi, I think, is going to make Toron's life a lot harder, or at least as hard as possible, by installing Ice on Archives, and with the upgrade on R&D that looks like kind of a Crisium grade possibly, that denies you the World Tree value, and so Toron might have to change plans, or at least find a different way to trigger his World Trees.
And yet there's the Crisium Grid. So it's quite we're seeing an Astroscript Stone. That's huge for the runner here. The Astro is kind of the big way that, or the kind of scoring threat that the Nebula deck wants to present, because obviously if you just sit back and do nothing, you need something to do if the runner is just going to sit back and do nothing and not play into your hard hitting news. So that's a big get for Tauron, is disrupting that Astro train a little bit. Now that it's back in beautiful limit 3 per deck form. Trashing the Crisium Grid, though, 5 credits, like that is an awful lot, and it is going to stretch Tauron's economy thin. These World Tree decks, as I've said, not the richest decks, like they're not the most liquid decks, even though there is a ridiculous number of credits on the board right now.
Yeah, that kind of relying on Coalescence and Cabaneza to get the necessary credits to start the engine, and once World Tree is online, it gets you 3 credits in a tutor every turn. But the caveat is that you have to go through some ice in some situations, and I think Mezzy is really playing around that. I think she's going to set up a board where Turn has a hard time triggering that World Tree and making the engine really function at its finest. And here it's a very thin line the two players are playing, where Torn has to find something for the ice that Mezzy is about to put down, probably this turn before the door slams on the free-ish or at least cheap tutor. That's exactly what happens. Lamb, the breaker of choice, being able to paint anything as a barrier and then getting through it with not exactly cheap, but a kind of fixed 3 to 5 crates, I think, is the rates that Lamb usually goes through most ice in the game. And that might be just enough for Torrent to keep the World Tree triggers in the future turns.
Yeah, it is kind of the ideal breaker for this World Tree deck, because it is just, you play a flat, again, anywhere from 2 to 7 credits, and you just get through, and you're able to continue your World Tree engine going. And you do eventually set up a K2CP or a turbine rig of just good efficient breakers boosted up by turbine, but getting there does take some time, and Lamb really helps with that. Mezzy just playing a little bit slow, resing a Spin Doctor and icing up R&D. You do kind of want to get multiple pieces of ice when Tauron is in this position where there is just the Lamb as a breaking tool, just so that you can slow down as much as possible that kind of World Tree engine. Seeing the things that I love about these World Tree decks is looking at what has been included in the deck. We see there's a Snitch in hand, and I think there was 1 or 2 interesting programs that I saw on the list. See if I can find any. But yeah, always fun to see what the influence has been spent on, and what what has been decided, what programs are worth fitting in, as we see the absolute horrific Shahrazad MU tree emerge.
Yeah, Shahrazad, it looks extremely funny in these kind of lists when you have multiple demons all hosting each other. The board, if you thought the board that Jai had a few games ago with the massive off-campus apartment was funny, you're in for a treat, because these World Tree lists go as wide as possible on this Shahrazad, making 1 credit every time you install something and host on it. It kind of one of the few ways that one of the better ways that the deck has to keep this constant flow of programs somewhat profitable.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see how deep, because it goes wide, but then it also goes quite deep as well. I've seen some very interesting JNet layouts playing against these World Tree decks that are doing a lot of interesting MU cheating. We're seeing Mezzy here score out, possibly is the first Astro. Yes, it's the first scored Astro of the game. Game-winning agenda. Getting an Astro with a counter does win you the game, or not win you the game, obviously, on its own, but it is so powerful to have access to, especially in a matchup like this where you're going to need every window possible to win once the lock of the World Tree starts to take effect.
Yeah, Astra is really important because Mezzi is kind of threatening. One of the lines we've seen earlier is assuming Toron can't flip the Nebula right now, there's a chance where the extra Nebula click plus the advance and the counter from AstroScript can get you to score a breaking news with two clicks remaining, and so threatening a potential boom. It would be one of the lines that Mezzi has to close out the game very quickly if Toron can't find a way into either HQ or need to flip the corp back to its front side. Right now,
We're seeing
yeah,
IP blocks on centrals. These are actually very frustrating pieces of ice for Lamb to deal with. I think it's something like 5 credits for Lamb to break an IP block. For a 2-credit investment is a really, really good return.
Yeah, it's exactly 5 credits, which is a lot for an ice that you res on 2 credits and technically can get through by just letting beating the trace on its first subroutine. But as long as Mezzi is a little richer than Toron, he can't exactly waste the clicks and the credits to remove the tag and stuff. And so the 5 credit tax is probably what Toron has to go through. Here's where I'm thinking: does Kabunezabu have a link? Is that going to come out?
Does have a link.
I think so too. So that might be something that ends up being important if Toron decides to eventually fight these IP blocks by beating the trace rather than paying 5 each time with Lamb.
Yeah, you do have to worry obviously about what the credit differential is at that point. I think up until now, Mezzi's had a pretty significant credit differential and could just pay into the trace to end the run. But yeah, you can just start to pay 2 each time to make your life a little bit easier.
Rashida getting trashed as Toron sets up the second World Tree. Kind of tells us that there might be another HHN coming. It looked like a bit of a free trash from Toron, but I'm assuming Mezzi will come out with some punishment for that run. And it might just be the fact that Nebula gets to stay flipped, and Mezzi might capitalize on it by gaining an extra click by playing an operation and maybe comboing off some kind of stuff. Ideally, just scoring something. Scarcity resourcing hitting the board, click free thanks to Nebula, and Mezzi using the time to set up another server to potentially maybe score something out or resolve one of those Rashidas that we've seen.
There is something very just unnatural about the fact that currents are, you get to play free currents in Nebula. They are operations, it makes complete sense, but seeing a scarcity come down clicklessly is kind of gross.
Yeah, absolutely. Luckily for Toron, I think World Tree Boo, one of the decks that relies least on resources. We've seen a couple other decks in the few earlier that really can't fight through a scarcity for long enough. So one of the greater points for Nebula in the meta right now is that point-wise you get to also include a scarcity. It comes out very cheaply, comes out clickless on the backside and flips the ID on the front side. So also very good for the AD as well. And right now Toron looks like it's setting up a double Cuban on that IP block so that you get to break it with Lamb for just 1 and then probably selling both of them to World Trees because they're otherwise going to get removed from game because of the Kabunezabu text.
Do I see a Brahmin in the list of programs that's there? That's pretty
That's
pretty
spicy.
sick.
Yeah. It goes extremely well with Coalescence, let me tell you. Being able to reset the card on top of the stack and then gaining the value again. Yes, please.
That is absolutely disgusting. Coalescence is good, huh?
Yeah, Coalescence, an amazing card that does great work for shapers in standard, but is, I think, even more abused and even more busted in the Eternal format.
Continuing to see the absolute monster Scheherazade chain. We have 3 Degdeers. It's the fact that only 3 MU is being used. It's still Still ridiculous.
Yeah, that's absurd. I think on the other side, Mezzi's kind of struggling to find the combo lines, but I think she's slowly sculpting her hand. Does Rashida help her get more cards out of R&D and in HQ? She has access to YDL to bounce up to a great amount of credits, but having to fight against the misdirection is really hard. You don't have access to that HHN you usually want to use to drain the runner's credit and tags and clicks because of the misdirection. So it's really hard for Mezzi to kind of get in a position where she can put Torn on the back foot. The ice is nice, and I think the way Mezzi has to fight this is to get more ice on centrals, make all these World Tree runs even more expensive, and kind of force the runner to slowly drain those credits in a way that she might be able to keep Nebula flipped for one turn and probably find a combo line. Either that or find a way to fast advance enough points to 7. But without the third Astroscript that was stolen earlier, the train is a lot harder to get to all the way.
Yeah, and we've seen as well, I know we saw last turn one of the booms as well. It was getting trashed by Cabinessa Wu. I don't know what the influence is in these Nebula lists. I don't know what they're spending their influence on. Obviously 3 is going to boom. I don't know if they're playing things like economic warfare or not, but if Toron is able to find the booms, it does get a little bit easier for him to just kind of run with relative safety. And you don't need to worry too much about a tag threat coming through, as we're starting to see these IP blocks are slowly beginning to just melt under the pressure of Turbine and Lamb breaking them for just 2 credits. Now we have a compilation, which is kind of the bane of combo decks. It's able to just deal with whatever there's a great hit, the 24/7 news cycle. That's a great compilation target.
24/7 news cycle, one of the ways that Mezzi can use to get a boom off. She would need to score a breaking news first, but once you do that, and that's just a 2-1, 24/7 news cycle is a single click for 2 tags, so opening up a potential boom. Turan here thinking about whether to host it or not. I think, he decided to host it in the end. But Cabinessa Wu, one of the better IDs, at least these World Tree lists, one of the better IDs at protecting themselves from combo kill. Once you have enough space that you can use some of these World Tree triggers to install tech, you might survive more damage. And a second boom gets trashed from hand, so Mezzi can't hold onto the kill operations long enough. We'll see if she finds more Spin Doctors to shuffle them back and get access to them later down the line, hopefully opening up more combo lines for her.
Yeah, we're just seeing Mezzi now start digging through. She finds the hard-hitting news, which is going to slow Toran down a little bit. He's going to need to burn some of his money. And again, he's still not particularly liquid, even though he's cheating out a lot of value. But going to need to find a way to just wear down some of Toran's resources enough that she can open up a window where she can layer on some tag punishment. But getting the Pisha Shao down, there's a Cubon, or I think there was a Cubon somewhere. Oh no, it was RFG'd last turn. Yeah, now we're going to just start to see, I think Toran is looking to kind of just get this game over with now. There's a pretty hard lock being established. Toran now can just focus on clearing out, as we see double Pisha Shao coming down, clearing out any kind of win conditions from R&D, and close out the game.
Beautiful part is that the Pisha Shao, the Illumination is going to potentially install the Pisha Shao again on another ice here, a different IP block, but also saving it from the Cabinessa RFG at the end of the turn. So because it gets bounced back, Turan gets to keep that Pisha Shao around and can potentially use it in a future turn for maybe extra access in R&D, or in this case digging harder on HQ, potentially finding the combo piece. I think Turan knows that The way he loses this game is if Mezzi can find a combo line that kills him, or if potentially gets enough points fast advance. And I think he identified HQ as the place where you want to hit as often as possible to get the combo cards out of the hand, and finding the agendas that Mezzi might have drawn at this point, because she spent a lot of clicks in the past few turns drawing cards, and I probably trying to find the cards necessary to progress her game plan forward.
Mezzi just continuing to dig, just trying to find the right combination of cards and sculpt the ideal hand that she can use to eventually put Tauron, wait for Tauron to make a mistake, and then use that mistake to get herself into this game and close it out and find the combo kill. But it is getting harder and harder with double Rozeki, misdirection ticking as well. The Pichichao now coming, the Pichichao sticking on HQ. It's going to be very, very easy for Tauron to just keep hammering centrals until he's able to find the win con. I don't know, I presume Tauron is on symbol chips and he can get back that compilation as well if he wants to just completely lock out a compilation, or completely lock out a combo line. We've seen him go for eyeing up. Going for a Parisha. I guess it's a 0 cost that you can use to turn into whatever with World Tree.
That would be my read as well. Also, Tauron is making it look like he's making it seamless, but he has been dancing around the Mew in the last few turns. He ran out of a Mew a couple of turns ago between DZMZ and Lilypad, and now every program he installs with Kabaneza comes with the extra string attach of costing it some of the last few Mews he has. Now, Rabbit Hole is one of the key cards, I think, that he could have found. That's a throwback all the way from the first core set, but it's an artwork that finds more copies of itself and installs them on the board, and that gives Tauron an easy way to find more hardware that usually kind of equate, when you tutor for them with World Tree, to more Mew that he might be able to play around with. So a bit of a tough spot, but he might be out of it soon if World Tree gets used probably next turn to find more hardwares for more Mew to play around. Right now it looks like we're getting third Rozeki down, so maximum drip economy, and probably enough funds to clear future HHNs if Mezzi decides to play them.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a HHN now. If Tauron does get HHN, and it is possible for him, he's on very few credits. The misdirection, these 3 Rozekis clear 3 tags already thanks to misdirection. So yeah, it's getting harder and harder now. This looks, I wonder, could this be a breaking news? A breaking news score does get Mezzi back into this game with a really strong, and it is. So this is one of the lines that Mezzi can take, and this is one of the avenues that Mezzi has access to.
Yeah, that SGP absolutely devastating for Tauron.
Brutal.
One of the few ways that you can combat this World Tree once the list is like set up like this is to get rid of that Scheherazade from the board. So SGP is one of the ways, self-grab program. The other way I know people have been playing is best defense. And Tauron here going back to the list, looking at what are the options here. What's the way that the deck gets back? And I think one of the ways might be just to click that levy, reset the stack, and use Kabaneza Wu again to find the coalescences, get the money necessary, and restart the whole engine. But not a great position to be in, and probably gives Mezzi enough of a breathing room to potentially get back in the game that looked really hard to play just a couple of turns ago.
Yeah, it's gonna slow Tauron down enough. He's gonna play this levy here. He's gonna have no money. Now we've seen just how quickly Kabaneza Wu can get these World Tree stacks set up, but this is gonna give Mezzi just super crucial time to start fast advancing out agendas. We're seeing Nebula go up to 4 clicks. This could be another Astroscript pilot program. It looks like it's a tomorrow's headline. Again, not massively impactful on its own, but this is a tag that Torin has to clear. And Torin right now doesn't really have the time or resources to be clearing tags. He needs to get set up quickly again, or Mezzi is going to be able to score out or a combo kill.
Yeah, Mezzi on game point right now. The one saving grace is that we had to use the Astro script to get the line turn earlier. So you can't score a 3-2 from hand without using the extra click from Nebula. So as long as we can flip Nebula, we might be safe for a turn. That being said, getting into either sure indeed looks very dire right now. You have to either beat the trace or install a breaker that might be a little too expensive on both ways. I mean, it looks like Torin is challenging server 4 right now. See if he can find an access of some kind, potentially diffuse another agenda that Mezzi might be pushing behind the tributary, since that card has been sitting in server 4 for a while.
I don't think the trace line is available because he's already floating the tag, so he'd need to clear the tag and then hope there's enough money. We're seeing a Bellona get scored, or stolen rather, from the remote. That's just been chilling there all game.
Very important steal for Torin, going back to 5 points. Both players currently sitting on game points. If either of them finds 2 more points,
Torin's in boom range. Like, he's just putting down the Slap Vandal, saying if you have it, you have it. There's no way I think that he can clear the tags to dodge the boom or whatever the tag punishment is. This could be the last access. Crisium Grid, Watson Archives, just going for the Hail Mary.
Yeah, one saving grace from Torin is that 2 booms are in archives, so it's unlikely. I don't think Mezzi might has enough influence for all of them. Finds a Bellona but can't steal it.
Oh. So Toronto's on 0 credits. Mezzi's on 1 credit, though, and this slot machine is not going to be... Now, in fairness, 8 credits to steal that Bellona in archives is a lot. If Mezzi can find a Spin Doctor, she can kind of... she can save herself there. But as well, that Slap Vandal is gone. That's one of the breaking tools. That's one of the cheap breaking tools that Torin has access to. Yeah, Torin is in a very, very difficult position here. If he can get enough money, does he have enough money? Oh my god, yeah, double coalescence. Oh, that's enough.
That's enough.
That's exactly enough.
Yeah. Running in, you have to deal with tributary, but that doesn't stop you. That's exactly enough money to get in. And like, you lose the 3 credits from Zot Machine, but you can still pay the 5 and steal the Bellona at the last hurdle.
I don't think there's anything that... I don't know what Mezzi can do to stop this. And that's the Bellona. That's Bellona for the game. What a game. Holy.
Absolute nail biter of a game. Very well played on both sides.
Really, really well played. Mezzi, it was looking pretty dire for Mezzi towards the mid game there. Once Torin just got set up and just started applying this lock to the corp, where she just wasn't able to do anything particularly effectively, Torin was able to get into centrals, get World Tree value, set up his Doom rig. But that breaking news off the Astro script to get the self-growth program, it burns an Astro counter, but it gets Mezzi right back in the game. You saw the work that Torin had to deal with to be able to get back into it and rebuild the engine, and that gives Mezzi enough time then to score out at tomorrow's headline, start fast advancing agendas, potentially even start actually lining up a boom kill, because I think there's another Spin Doctor in the deck. Well, I assume there's another Spin Doctor in the deck. Yeah. What a game.
Yeah. It took a while for Mezzi to find the reversal that she needed to get back in the game, and that meant that drawing some agendas was something she could not avoid, and those agendas ended up floating around enough for Torin to find them, ultimately stealing 2 Bellonas, mastering exactly enough credits to get both of those 3-pointers just before Mezzi can find a way to close out the game. Absolutely nail-biter, absolutely great game. Let's take a look at the standings here for the end of week 1. see 3 players sweeping their respective match of Jai, OF 1515, and Toron currently, all of them sitting at their maximum score and tied up for 6 points. We have Dungeon Mixer and Knight from Chess splitting their match and sitting on 3, and then August Caesar, Mezzi, Zero sitting right now on 0 points but ready to bounce back, and Ace Empress right now also with her bye week, not scoring any points right now, but obviously everybody has to go through a bye week at some point, so not setting her back in the race either ultimately.
Yeah, this is one of the weird. It's the people in week 1 or week 9, the bye weeks, that are kind of interesting, because the benefit that Ace Empress has now is that she doesn't need to worry about a bye week messing up any kind of potential points calculations in terms of the leaderboard. Her path to ESL Championship or the ESL Championship is entirely within her own hands. She doesn't need to worry now about potential other results, which is what we saw last year with Toron. He had the bye in week 9, and basically his fortune was completely out of his hands. He just had to trust that those week 9 results would go his way, which obviously they ended up doing. But yeah, really some very interesting decks. Obviously the Wu Nebula kind of dominance on the meta share is very, very interesting. But there's a lot of really, really cool decks. There's an ESA deck out there from CDRO. The 2 decks that we saw from Mezzi and Toron, the Snitch, Andy, and kind of value asset deck are really, really interesting. And also just watching these Nebula and Wu decks, the power that they have access to is just, that's what Eternal is made of. That is just pure powerful Netrunner, breaking the fundamentals of the game. And also just the games tonight have been great. ESL is some of the best Eternal Netrunner you can see, and it's a great showcase of what makes Eternal so great.
Honestly, yeah, great week to open up. We hope to see you all, folks, next week for week 2. I'll show you the match that you're looking for. We're going to see Knight from Chess playing Toron, Zero against Dungeon Mixer, OF 1515 battling out against another a veteran of the league in Jai, and Mezzi playing against Ace Empress. August Caesar is the one sitting this one out next week. And I think that does it for week 1, folks. We're starting again. We're back up and running. And honestly, can't wait to see more Eternal next week.
Yes, me too. It's great to be back, and it's great to see so many people in chat. People that weren't chatting last year, great to see chatting this year. And yeah, let's buckle in. We've got 9 weeks of high-powered Netrunner to look forward to, and personally, I cannot wait.
Awesome. In that case, thank you everyone for watching, and see